and Aaron Cummins, executive producer Mike Eby. The senior vice president of sports for Cumulus Media and Westwood One is Bruce Gilbert. Join us again this Sunday night as Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers host the Green Bay Packers. Ryan Ratke and Mike Golick have all the excitement. I'll kick off the broadcast with NFL Sunday, all the scores and highlights of Week 8 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then on Monday night, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs host the Washington Commanders. The Golick's pregame show begins at 7 Eastern. You can hear every Westwood One NFL broadcast on the Westwood One Sports app. Download now and take the game with you wherever you go. Once again, our final score tonight from Los Angeles, the Chargers 37, the Vikings 10. Now, for Kevin Kugler and Ross Tucker, I'm Scott Graham. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to Thursday Night Football on Westwood One.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps. It's KM to AM on WFAN.
Sports Radio 101.9 FM. The Fan, WFAN.
Here, right back in here. Another KM to AM. I'm a little congested, don't mind me. It's, what happens when the weather changes. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm good enough to talk. And there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack. You know the number to dial, 888-808-1019. Let's get into it. I will open it up right now. And then quickly we will get to everyone's topics of conversation for 2 hours till 2 a.m. Coming off of Thursday Night Football, Week 8 is underway in the NFL. The San Diego Superchargers, excuse me, I know they're not in San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers versus a one-arm Carson Wentz. Made quick work of them tonight. It was never a game. The game flipped from that interception that we thought was going to be first touchdown Vikings defense. And then after that, no looking back for Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, Gadsden, Vidal, Lad McConkey, Allen, that whole team. Good for them. The Minnesota Vikings are in a weird spot. Tonight I was like, why didn't they sign Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones didn't want to sign with them. You guys remember when Daniel Jones got picked up by the Vikings last year after he departed East Rutherford. He never got on the field with them with Sam Darnold. Wait, why didn't Sam Darnold sign with the Vikings? He probably wanted to. They probably didn't want to pay him. Man, if you don't have two quarterbacks in this NFL, you don't have one. And I had no idea who Max Brosmer, the backup, was. I still don't know who he is. I don't know. He went to school at Minnesota. I guess he was undrafted. I'm not familiar with the guy, but Carson Wentz, we all know. Carson Wentz is on like his sixth team now, and he's got the shoulder injury, and I guess he can still be serviceable enough, but what a bad spot the Vikings are in with J.J. McCarthy, who they drafted, who they have to play, and I guess he's going to play next week, but who could be excited about that? Certainly not Justin Jefferson. Certainly not Jordan Addison. Certainly not the Skull faithful. But yeah, good for the Chargers. And we are off and running on Week 8. If you have any thoughts on that game, call me up with that. And we'll get to the Jets and the Giants a little later as the first call popped up. And I think this is the most urgent thing to speak on tonight. What happened to the Rangers? From riches to rags, the Rangers have regressed. And, I'm usually a troll. Obviously, I'm a Devils fan, but I'm not a lifelong Devils fan. I've been paying attention for the last 4 years or so. But, I've known the Rangers, an original six team, a strong fan base, a team that was a wagon, a team that when I came into WFAN, I was saying they're most likely to win a championship sooner than the rest of these New York teams. Now they're a laughingstock like the rest of these New York teams. I don't know what I watched tonight. The San Jose Sharks, who will face the New Jersey Devils tomorrow on a back-to-back, I'm sure they're going to have nothing left. 6 goals tonight. I was watching that game, and I mean, they got out right away. It was 2-0, and so that's bad for a Rangers team that was struggling to score in their building, win in their building. But the Rangers score 5 goals in the Garden and don't come away with a win. At the end of the game, they flashed the game notes. This is the 100th year of the Rangers. This is supposed to be a celebratory year, right? 5th straight home loss to start the season, which ties a New York Rangers franchise record from 1943. Anybody that could call me that was around for 1943? I don't know. 888-808-1019. 6 loss in 9 games to begin the season. 3-5-1 record. Shesterkin gives up 6 goals tonight. And like the Sharks were winless. You know what I'm saying? Like they come in and you're thinking this is an easy one, no? They come in and you're thinking we should be able to eat. I don't know. I'm watching that game tonight, and I guess you just got to tip your cap to those young guys over there. I guess you just got to tip your cap to, a team that fought into overtime. You knew that was coming, though, in overtime, right? Rangers fans call me up and tell me how you feel. I know you got rid of a lot of the guys that you had there. Kreider, Trouba, Kakko, who else? I mean, there was so many guys that had to depart last year. Who's getting fired? Are you firing Chris Drury? I mean, you fired the last 2 coaches, managers. Now, Mike Sullivan has to answer for all this. And I know folks are going to say, Keith, it's early. It's October 23rd. But this is a proud franchise. This is despicable. That's all-time bad to start the season like this and give that win to San Jose and be winless at home. Those tickets are still expensive. There's still a lot of people showing up to that building. This Celebrini kid, he balled out. Celebrini had a hat trick. That's crazy. I mean, Taylor Radish had a hat trick too. But, yeah, I don't know. As I'm watching that game and I'm watching Thursday Night Football and I'm watching the Oklahoma City Thunder play the Pacers, I just keep looking. I'm like, another goal. A lot of goals were scored tonight. Let's not leave out the Icelanders. Let's not leave out the Islanders. They rolled. They dominated. I think on Twitter, I was like, are the Islanders better than the Rangers? Some people are like, yeah. Some people are like, no, hell no. But, like, they scored 7. So the Sharks put up 6. The Islanders put up 7. 9 goals in UBS Arena. Plus another 20 goals scored tonight in New York, in the state of New York, in NHL hockey. I don't know what to say. I'm not Keithy Pucks. But I feel like, as calls are coming in, I'm going to take a call right now. I feel like obviously we haven't gotten to, football Friday yet. We're coming off of the Knicks playing last night. Thursday night football between the Vikings and the Chargers. How many people are calling about that? I'm sure, we'll have some Knicks conversation as the first Friday night on Amazon Prime basketball will be tomorrow. But yeah, let's take a call because I need someone to explain it to me. What's happening with the Rangers? How do they score 5 goals when they couldn't score goals at all in their building and then give up 6 to lose? Shesterkin is one of the best in the business, no? Just a bad night? I was waiting for JT Miller in the postgame to say, hey, let's not make too big of a deal of this. I think you have to, though, because now they're about to go on the road. They got a little bit of a West Coast swing here. I mean, I guess they're better on the road, right? I guess a road trip could be good for them this early on in the season. But if you're a Rangers fan and you've watched this team regress, you've watched this team fall from grace and come out of the gate to start the 100th season like this, and you know exactly what it is, tell me. Robbie's in Lenox on the Fan first. What's up, Robbie?
Hey, Keith. It's an honor to be on first, man. This is my favorite team in professional sports. I've been watching this team since 1974, since I watched Dale Ruff get the crap beat out of him by the Flyers and lose in the playoffs. I mean, we've seen one championship with this franchise in 82 years, okay? And tonight is, I got home from work, I turned the game on, and it's 3-3, and to find out that it was, 3-1 Sharks, and the fact that Celebrini is 19 years old, and Alexei Lafreniere has been in the league now 6 years. What does Alexei Lafreniere bring to the table, Keith? Can you please explain what he brings to the table?
That's supposed to be the guy. That guy was picked to be the man. No?
I mean, he's the first guy to come out of the draft. First of all, Tim Flustra plays for the Senators, should have been the first pick. Why is it that through decades and decades and decades that this team is always soft? Here's my first question, okay? What is Artemi Panarin doing on the ice with less than a minute left in the second period? He's one of the worst two-way players in the league. In fact, Lafreniere gets all his bad habits from Panarin, okay? Zibanejad has a no-trade clause. Blow this thing up. Blow Chris Drury up. What is Chris Drury's plan? To bring in a 33-year-old JT Miller and now build a team around him? Bring the kids up. Do it. You know what? This franchise has to hit rock bottom before they can build up. Look what the Sharks are doing. The Sharks have hit a lot of rock bottom lately. They have one of the best young players that drafted, Will Smith. Celebrini was terrific. And by the way, the Sharks might have been 0-7, I believe, before this win. They played really well against the Islanders, and if it wasn't for Ilya Sorokin the other night, they would have beaten the Islanders. Okay, I guarantee you they'll give the Devils a game tomorrow night. This is a team with a lot of young talent. They brought in some veteran guys. They brought in the Jeff Skinner. They brought in the Dmitry Orlov. So it's not as bad a team. And I'm really pulling for my career, obviously. And I know what people think of it that way, but the guy is the first black general manager in the league, okay, Keith? So I hope he does well. I really do, because I think that, it'll be good for hockey. It'll be good for just in general for the game. But the problem with the Rangers is that Chris Drury is the problem. You can bring Scotty Bowman in here, okay, Keith, please? You can bring Al Armour back here, okay?
Thanks for the call, Robbie. Yeah, so I guess Chris Drury's to blame for this. You said blow it up. He started to last year. Got to go all the way. Got to finish the job, because this isn't looking right. This isn't looking good. JT Miller is asked questions after the game, and he didn't say let's not make a big deal of this. He said, we're not ready to play. Didn't really respect our opponent today. In your building, after the Knicks opened up their season last night, and you see how the city responds to them. He says we got to have urgency. It's a simple game. I don't know, man. Not a good start for the Rangers in a season where you were looking to start anew. You were looking to turn a new page, but there was supposed to be some type of standard here for Rangers hockey, and that's an embarrassing one tonight. Even as I went to NHL Tonight and turned to the NHL Network, they were giving props to Celebrini. They were giving props to the young Sharks and what they were doing. And right now, you're kind of scratching your head if you're a Rangers fan. But like I said, props to the Islanders. Emil Heineman, I was looking at his interview during the intermission, what he had to say. I mean, that building is great. Obviously, a brand new building. They're buzzing over there. The Islanders have started off this season after having the number one pick, as we're talking about Alexei Lafreniere, who was picked number one to be the man. Their number one pick, 18 years old, Andrew Schaefer, so far very good, but they just look like they have a better team. I mean, they cruised tonight. They dominated. Those couple goals late don't even matter. They were up 3-0, 5-0, and 7 goals in your building. I'm sure some Islanders fans are feeling pretty decent. John is in Hempstead on the Fan. What's up, John?
Hey, Key, how you doing?
Good. A little cold, but, I'm go to sleep in like 2.5 hours.
I think the Islanders are going to have a great year this year. Bo Horvat's finally playing well. Matthew Schaefer.
What did I say? Andrew Schaefer, right? Yeah, excuse me.
Okay. So I think they have a way better shot than the Rangers this year.
So far, so good. And I know it's October 23rd. We just started the season, but like I said, there's expectations. Like, people get excited for the start of the season. People are ready to watch, and I guess you just got to give the Rangers some grace and some time under the new coach, and these players to gel and figure some things out and mesh. But that's pretty bad. Like, definitely at home. That's not good at home.
I'm a little happy about the Dobson trade now that Emil Heineman already has 5 goals this season.
Yeah, I mean, big night for him tonight. Big night for the Islanders tonight. And, as I'm watching Thursday Night Football and keeping an eye on the hockey, I'm like, not so good for the Rangers, but very good for the Islanders. And I think Islanders fans are feeling good like Devils fans are feeling good. Who do the Islanders have next? Looking at the Islanders schedule. You got to keep rolling. It's like, in that building, you're doing well, and then they're going down to Philly to face the Flyers Saturday, and have a night off in between. The Rangers now got to go face the Calgary Flames, the Canucks, the Oilers, the Crowd. Like they got a 4-game road trip. You got to show up. Thanks for the call, John. Yeah, those are also late games. Those games are 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 p.m. So you stay up to watch your team play, you're going to want to see a win. You don't want to see a team lose. You don't want to go down that way. But before we get to the break and the update, we're also going to unpack the NBA gambling scandal. As I woke up this morning, I woke up to the news about Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups. Now, Terry Rozier, we already kind of knew about. He was flagged last season and shut down. But now it has hit a different level. Now it's actually like, okay, you're indicted, you're charged. And it's unfortunate because there's a cloud over the NBA after I was on last night, and we're talking about VJ Edgecombe, we're talking about Wembanyama, we're talking about the Knicks. So, yeah, I woke up to Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested early Thursday morning as part of an FBI sports betting gambling probe. The Eastern District of New York and FBI Director Kash Patel will hold a press conference at 10 a.m. So I watched some of that. And then Chauncey Billups as well. And Chauncey Billups' situation with him being like the face of a poker ring where they were scamming people and stealing people's money. It was a gambling ring, rigged poker games backed by the mafia. I don't understand why these guys that are millionaires, that are famous across the country, I don't understand why they even get involved in some of this. But I'll say this about it. People are making this more of a broader, sweeping thing about how we gamble as fans, and the phones and FanDuel and DraftKings and BetMGM. I'm like, nah, this is different. And these guys know better. One, they're coaches and players, former player. They're warned about this over and over and over again. It kind of makes you think, do they have some debts that they have to pay? Are they in some deep water with the mafia, with some other people? It's crazy. For gambling to be legal, for these guys to risk their careers, their livelihood, potentially be locked up behind bars, doing things like this, it's a black cloud over the NBA, and the timing is no coincidence that the NBA had their opening night, and everybody's all excited to see basketball back, and you got all the highlights, and, these stories this morning overtook the highlights. These stories this morning were bigger than the highest scoring outputs in any of the games. Nobody really cared about what Jimmy Butler and the Warriors did. It was more about, oh, here we go again, and then it opens up the can of worms across sports, right? Because we're still waiting to hear about Luis L. Ortiz, Emmanuel Clase in Major League Baseball. And tomorrow night, the World Series starts with Shohei Ohtani playing in back-to-back World Series. Someone who, when the season started last year, his name came up and there was a quick investigation, and Ippei Mizuhara, his translator, took the fall. But a lot of people, myself included, are like, wait. Ohtani was completely pushed away from this, marked as safe, had nothing to do with it. But they're really coming after some of these other guys. So, yeah, we'll unpack that. We will get ready for the Giants to go down to Philly and face the Eagles. We will get ready for the Jets. I'm not sure which quarterback is ready, but they got to be ready to face Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think that's all we'll really have time for. So Puck Talk is on the table, of course, with the Rangers loss and then the Islanders win. And then More on Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier and the state of gambling and the NBA, the cloud over the NBA. And then, of course, football talk with the Jets inching closer and closer to another loss, the number 1 overall pick. And who are they going to pick? And the Giants trying to, get wins here and convince some people that they're not the same old Giants, that they do have a different identity here with this quarterback, with this running back, with this defense, and maybe they can sweep the Eagles for the first time since 2007. 888-808-1019. I got to blow my nose. This is Keith McPherson on the Fan. I'll say good morning on the other side. We'll be right back.
The Giants and Eagles get ready to face each other for the second time in 3 weeks. This time in Philly.
They bring pressure up the middle. Darts back, fires it over the middle, and it's caught off a deflection.
Will Big Blue quickly forget last week's heartbreaker?
10-5 to the goal line.
Or get back on track in the home of their division rival?
Touchdown Giants.
Find out this Sunday at 1 here on your home for New York Giants football. 1019 FM WFAN and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Stations.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at midnight. I'm Justin Rock. This report is being brought to you by police officers RightToSue.com. Shockwaves across the NBA. Over 30 people arrested, including Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Heat guard Terry Rozier as part of 2 separate but related gambling schemes. Billups and former player Damon Jones allegedly taking part in rigged poker games put together by 4 mafia families. Rozier providing non-public information and intentionally removing himself from games to benefit gamblers. Both Billups and Rozier placed on leave by the league. Portland assistant Tiago Splitter will take over as acting head coach. Knicks and Celtics later today at the Garden. Mitchell Robinson ruled out with an ankle injury. Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Harder questionable. NHL, a chaotic night at MSG. The Rangers get the first career hat trick from Taylor Radish. However, the Sharks get their first win of the year. They beat the Blue Shirts in OT 6-5. Meanwhile, it was all Islanders at UBS.
Here's Bo Horvat into the zone. Horvat, Heineman scores! Emil Heineman just can't stop. His second tonight on another beautiful feed from Bo Horvat.
Brendan Burke with the call on MSG. Emil Heineman scored twice. Isles cruised by the Red Wings 7-2. NFL, the Jets, Sauce Gardner did not practice with a concussion. Tyrod Taylor, Breece Hall were limited. For the Giants, Darius Slayton limited with a hamstring issue. Kicker Graham Gano, he has his window opened as designated to return from IR. It's 48 degrees and clear in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Justin Rock.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Good morning, good morning. It's Friday now. October 24th, Keith McPherson on the Fan. Make sure you guys are hitting the Purell, washing your hands. You know how it goes. It's funny, too, because my wife was just getting the flu shot, and I'm like, yeah, I'd rather not do that. And then I get a little bit of a head cold today, and I'm like, maybe I should do that. Because it's coming. Once the weather gets cold and the germs are flowing around, you can't avoid it. 888-808-1019. Coming off a tough loss for the Rangers in their building. You score 5 goals, you give up 6, you lose in overtime to hand the San Jose Sharks their first win of the season. It's tough. It's tough. Like, there's nothing else to say about it. It's not what you want. The Islanders roll. The Islanders put up 7 goals. Apex in the chat says, Keith, the Islanders scored more touchdowns than the Jets last week. And the Knicks have more wins than the Jets. And speaking of the Jets, Josh is in New Brunswick on the Fan. What's up, Josh?
Hey, Keith, how you doing?
I'm all right, pushing through for a couple hours.
Right. So, real quick, over the last few years, we saw Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, who else? Jared Goff, all these guys. It's pretty clear that these top first-round, early second-round quarterbacks, they get picked there for a reason. They have the talent. They just get put into poor situations with high coach turnover, bad offensive lines, bad defenses. But the bottom line is the NFL has a culture where we give up on these players, these quarterbacks, way too early. And that all that is to say that the Jets, they get the first pick, second pick, third pick. Drafting another quarterback isn't going to do anything. It's just going to be another.
But they have to.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but this regime, hell yeah, right? I mean, they have Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor. This regime has to draft their own quarterback. This GM head coach who aren't going anywhere, they got to try and draft their quarterback of the future. If they miss, they miss.
Well, but if they miss, it sets them back the same way Darnold and Wilson did. I think, first of all, Aaron Glenn should not be the coach. He should be gone tomorrow.
Woody Johnson gives him hugs, tells him to keep the faith. He's going to be your coach this year and next year. He's not getting fired. He could lose every single game. The owner is all like, and that's what we kind of felt when we were hearing how he talks to the media. I'm like, this guy's got to be assured that he can't lose his job, because without a win, you shouldn't be talking like that.
Absolutely. I do agree we're stuck with Glenn. I personally think you got to build the line, which we're well on our way to doing. Got to give Garrett another guy to line up alongside, build the defense. We're on our way. And then you pick up the veteran quarterback who got left in the dust. When I called in, I suggested Will Levis. I don't think the Jets could do anything with that guy, if I'm being honest. The Jets destroy everything they touch. But just to throw his name out there, wasn't given a fair shake, has all the talent in the world. Give that guy a good coach in a few years. Fix his decision-making, his processing. He'll be a star. That's all I want to say, Keith.
Will Levis?
Will Levis. 6'4", pure muscle, arm talent through the roof. The throws we've seen this guy make are incredible. It really just comes down to poor decision-making. He can't see the field. He's been dealt bad hands in Tennessee. He's played, I think, 18 career games. I'm telling you, Keith, you send that guy to a competent organization, maybe the Steelers when Rodgers is gone.
But see, like, that's the thing. You said send him to a competent organization. We can't include the Jets in the competent organization conversation. Thanks for the call. It's funny because I had this in my notes, and I see Rangers fans calling, and I do want to talk to you because, like, I want to hear from the Rangers fans that have watched the Rangers go from conference finals, having the most wins, to where we're starting right now in the first couple weeks of the season. But Steve Young, well-respected quarterback, Super Bowl champion. Steve Young, here's what he had to say about the New York Jets, and then I'll get to the Rangers calls.
If I'm Justin Fields, the quarterback has to stay 100% accountable, despite how irritating that comment would have been to me. Like, that's who you are. Now, can I comment as me as the quarterback watching this? And I would say to the equity owner of the team, that rating that your quarterback has been repeated over and over and over again. You keep having head coaches go through like around and around and around, general managers around and around and around. I think that there's got to be a time when he says that comment, that the vulnerability to actually hear yourself say, oh my gosh, another really talented quarterback has a terrible rating on my watch. What can I do different? What can I bring to this new blood to this situation that seems to be going around and around and around? And that's why I would, you always say I want to be king for a day. I'd love to run the Jets for a day, or like own the Jets and like it
only one day.
Make it great for quarterbacks. Like, wouldn't that be a miracle in today's NFL that you'd make it great for quarterbacks? Isn't that a great idea?
Steve, you're asking Woody Johnson to have some self-awareness.
All right, so, before we get to the Rangers calls, I'll say this about the Jets and their quarterback situation. And, it's a revolving door of the same thing. It's a vicious cycle. They hire a defensive-minded head coach. They have Woody Johnson undermining everything, Woody Johnson micromanaging everything, Woody Johnson thinking that he knows football. Every time he speaks, he lets you know that he does not really know the game. Why not have somebody in the building that has a lot of experience coaching quarterbacks? It's the most important position on the field. No, instead you have first-time guys, right? Mike LaFleur's first time calling plays as an offensive coordinator. You throw Zach Wilson in there with a defensive-minded first-time head coach in Rob Saleh. I don't know why I thought Justin Fields was going to succeed here based off his athleticism, based off his years in the league. I thought when they went to get him, they had a plan for him. But here we are now, Tanner Engstrand, first-time signal caller. He doesn't know how to scheme up plays for the kid. Aaron Glenn can't help. Who is the quarterback coach? They might as well go play Tyrod Taylor. So it just, this organization just keeps repeating the same thing. So you have to look at Woody Johnson. But for anybody to think that a Will Levis is going to come in here and succeed, no way. No way. Justin Fields is going to be better when he lands with whoever he lands with, and he's in a backup role like Trey Lance is right now. Give him a couple years. But this GM and this head coach, make no mistake about it, assuming that they will be here because you just heard from Woody, they're the only winless team in the NFL. The only thing that they will do with that number one pick is draft the quarterback that they deem is the right quarterback for the future. 888-808-1019. And I hope that they have somebody as the same way they went and got the 33rd team, go consult with some other people. Have a consultant. I don't know. I can't even think of a quarterback, man. It called Chad Pennington up. Have somebody that is very familiar with watching tape and developing quarterbacks help you out with this pick. And don't just go off of what, I don't know, Mel Kiper says or whatever. They need help to not mess this pick up. One, they need to make the pick. Two, they need to make sure that the kid comes in, learns the offense, can play and develop, because this is a tough spot. We've seen too many good quarterbacks come in here, fail, and then be better elsewhere. Just in recent time, Aaron Rodgers doing fine this year, and obviously he was doing fine before he was here. Sam Darnold doing fine this year. He was seeing ghosts around here. Geno Smith sucks this year, but Geno Smith had some good years in Seattle after everybody said he was a bust. He was terrible here. So 888-808-1019. We got to talk Rangers with Paul in White Plains. Paul, tell me what's going on with the NYR.
If I knew what was going on with the Rangers, we'd have a winning record.
You'd fix it. You try and help.
But I think they let Kreider go. At least he could score. Mm-hmm. They let Keandre Miller go, a good defenseman. They traded him for the Russian defenseman. I think it's going to be another disaster. If they don't get going soon, they could end up in the basement, literally.
Yeah,
because they can't win at home.
And I don't know how they could change the lines up. They can. I mean, the guys that they have are the guys that they have. They got to figure it out. This road trip could be like a really good thing for them or a bad thing for them. Getting away from the building and maybe getting their confidence right.
Maybe you know what happened to Trocheck. He was a hard-nosed kind of player, a center. I don't know what happened to him. He was injured. I haven't heard whether he's coming back or what. But they need somebody like him. They're too soft. It's been the Rangers' problem for years.
They gutted the heart and soul of the team. They got rid of the captain. They got rid of players that were beloved. They got rid of the fabric of what the team was. So they're literally starting over.
Yeah, and they're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's not a good start. Good. Thanks for the call, Paul. 888-808-1019. I'm saying the number of Rangers fans call me and fill me in, tell me, how did we get here? And how does Chris Jury have the job and is able to keep the job after he traded away players, after he put this team together, brought in Mike Sullivan, and they just look a mess. And I know there's a standard. I know there's expectations. I know there's always a lot of excitement for the Rangers season to start. And after you lose like that to the San Jose Sharks, you know what? I thought they had the right energy tonight because earlier in that game, you get Matt Rempe versus his old pal Ryan Reeves, and they start scrapping. They drop the gloves and get after it. I'm like, all right, cool. The Rangers came to play. Rempe gets hurt, and I don't know. The Sharks go on to score 6 goals in overtime to get their first win. Joe is in Monroe. He went to the game tonight. Tell us about the vibe in the arena and what you saw.
Hey, what's going on, Keith? I hope you feel better, brother.
Yeah, I will eventually. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. No, the vibes were high, especially after that Rempe fight, 100%. And, going into OT, Igor gives up that puck, then, the game's over from there. But the problem stems way, way, way further than Jury, brother. They have 2 top picks. They pick Kako, second overall. They pick Lafreniere first overall, and these guys just weren't producing. Kako's out of here now. And Lafreniere, gets this big contract, and he's just an absolute ghost. He's skating on the ice. He's just doing cardio out there, bro. The problem just stems way further than Jury. He's making do with what he's got. You know what I mean? Panarin will most likely be gone. At the deadline or maybe even prior to the deadline. He's an old agent player, an expiring deal, and they just got to start fresh. They got to start playing these kids and let them go. Let them go. You see what the Giants are even doing with Dart and Scatterbo. Let the kids go. They got the juice.
Tell me what you think about Taylor Radish. Tough to see him have the Hattie and then.
Yeah, Radish is just a guy. You know what I mean? He's not special. He's just a guy that to fill a role. I'm happy for him that he got his hat trick. He gave the guy some juice, but he's you know what I mean? Like I just said, he's just a guy. He's nothing special. Just bring the kids up. Let them see what you got. You know what I mean? Then you evaluate from there. The Rangers have a developmental problem. It stems way further than the GM, than the coach or whatever. It starts in the minors. These kids aren't getting developed, and they're not producing.
Thanks for the call, Joe. Okay, so we're already thinking about trade deadline, punting the season, bringing young guys up. Not a good state of affairs for the Rangers. I'm usually asleep by the time Boomer and Gio's show starts, and I'm sure Boomer will have something to say. I'll have to go back in the free Odyssey app and listen to that when that gets going. But yeah, that's tough. On the other side though, San Jose Sharks, they're celebrating. Macklin Celebrini racked up 5 points. He had the hat trick as well. Will Smith scored the overtime winner, and that's their first win. And you know what I had the thought about tonight? As I've already leaned into, this is the Rangers, original 6 team. There's a standard. It's New York. It's Madison Square Garden. It's the most famous arena. When these teams come in there, they're expecting to perform and win and play because they know there's eyes on them. They know if they come in and beat the Rangers, it's going to be on NHL tonight. It's going to be on SportsCenter. Everybody's going to see it. So, yeah, that's tough. And then, obviously, when your top picks aren't playing like top picks or you already have a top pick that's gone, what can you say? There's just a lot of change. There's a lot of turnover with the Rangers, and it hasn't turned over to be anything good. Ross is in Bergen County on the Fan. What's up, Ross?
Hey, what's up, Keith?
I
mean, it's
talking Rangers. Talking about the team that you like, but I know you've gone through a lot with the Rangers, so you might not be in the mood to talk about them tonight.
Well, I mean, it's a pick your poison. I got them. I got the Vikes. I mean, you know, I'm living the dream.
Same night.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got Dickie Love, lady.
Yeah, future World Series champion, Dickie Love, lady. If my
1-year deal, signed, sealed, delivered.
I'm happy about those Jays. Hey, maybe this year's the trailer for the horror movie. The horror movie Disney on Ice out at the Garden. It's a freaking disgrace, bro. Yeah, you know, I was just on a Twitter space before a guy hosted it's not the biggest hockey fan in the world. I built it up talking about Lafreniere Year. He says, oh, yeah, I've heard of the guy. Isn't his name like Capo Caco? And that's all you need to know. The list goes on and on. We got Kravtsov, Anderson, you know, Nils Lundqvist. I mean, for Christ's sakes, it feels like Filipino was the gem at all of them, and he's probably never going to play hockey again. And the guy we chose like the one buy movie made last year, throw a C on the guy's chest. By the way, last time I called you talking Rangers, by the way, I think was when JT Miller said, you know, let's not overreact. Yeah, we you know,
right.
5 games later, we're still winless. It gave the only other winless team on either, you know, home or away, period, winless. And the San Jose Sharks gave them their first win. And you just name dropped the guy back with Celebrini. You see a tail of 2 first overall picks. Guy has 5 points on the night. It's a joke. It
is a joke.
By the way,
you got to laugh it off. You got to just laugh at how the story gets written.
It's laugh now, cry later. Because if you look, here's another thing. Like the dynamic duo out there, it's back with Celebrini and Will Smith. Not the catcher on the Dodgers, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But this guy, he was on a line with Gabe Perreault, and he also had the OT winner. This was like their line out in Boston College or Boston University. I confused it.
Boston College. I heard that in the broadcast.
Yeah. And he's looking like a jet. Perreault's barely, you know, even cracks the lineup. You know, whether that's his fault, another misused, kind of just the way they're lack of development, and it's just gonna, Austin's getting shopped around for prospects. Guys barely played like 20 NHL games. It's just a revolving door of misery. So much so you have a guy like Taylor Radish come in here for league minimum, and he's leading the team at goals, bro.
Yeah, that's the only bright spot. Like, I'm like, that's why I just asked the last call. What do you think about this guy having his best game of his career in a loss tonight?
Yeah, the pain, bro. That's all you could say, man. I'll say this. I guess this is a segue. Maybe, we start putting down some unders on the team. Maybe, hedge Mika's advantage at under half a shot. And the guy wants to go DJ for a while.
You got to investigate the Rangers next. The Rangers are
great. Right, I'd investigate Igor first and foremost. Because this is something else I said, too. Bro, it's just like the Mets. The second the goals start coming, now you're going to have the $11.5 million goalie. Thank God for Igor Shesterkin giving up 6 goals against the San Jose Sharks today. You can play this game on. This one wasn't his fault. That one wasn't his fault. If you're getting the big bucks, bro, I don't care if you're on the ice with one skater and one skater in the other jersey. I expect you to make that save. And you're letting up 6 against the winless San Jose Sharks. They're a freaking...
I was on Twitter trying to get information from Rangers fans, and there were a lot of Rangers fans that were confident. And one of them said to me, "We have the better goalie. We'll outlast them."
Yeah, but that's the problem. Like, I don't think people. I don't even think I'm like Socrates or some BS with this, bro. But don't you think like if you got the best goalie in the league, there's almost like a level of you're not if you're every other skater on that ice. Well, I don't have to give 110% because I got the best goalie in the league there, in the crease to save my ass if I, blow possession or if I don't hustle back on defense. I got Igor Shesterkin to save my ass. Yeah, and that was the past 15 years with Lundqvist. You got to look at teams like, Vegas with Aiden Hill. He's no, needle mover, and yet they had no problem, steamrolling through those playoffs. Year before, you had Colorado was probably the most dominant playoff run we've seen in years. They had Darcy Kemper in that. Like, these are like Kemper's solid, but these aren't the Hellebucks of the world. Look at Hellebuck. How much has he won? He won an MVP last year. What have they done in the playoffs? Carey Price of the world. I just brought up Lundqvist. It's almost like you put a quarterback and goalie or 1A, 1B in terms of importance of the Big Four, but for 2 different reasons.
Speaking of quarterback, Ross, before I let you go, what the hell is Kevin O'Connell doing with Carson Wentz, who's got a bum shoulder, and now J.J. McCarthy? Like, I feel like you had Sam Darnold last year. You had an opportunity with Daniel Jones. Like, how do you end up here? Yeah. This is a playoff team last year.
You know what he is, bro? He's the NFL's David Sturz. The pitching lab, the quarterback lab, both of them turned into the Wuhan lab from China, like Joe Benigno said. you pressed your luck, and here you are. You're going to be a sub-500 team, just like the Mets were sub-500. They're the biggest joke of the league. And look at all the talent Minnesota's wasting. I wouldn't be surprised if Jetters finally gives in, bro.
The wide receiver tandem of Jay Jettas and Addison,
he can't even move the ball. I was saying, I can't even knock KOC. I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt because look at what he did with Darnold, and we never saw Jones, but we
should have had Joshua Dobbs on the line, the Pastronaut.
So what's his name?
Nick Mullins.
Jackson on that. Mullins. Yep, he looks solid. I'll say, bro. When I thought we were going to see Desmond Ridder at one point this year. So it's a joke, man. Speaking of revolving doors, they're a disgrace, bro. I went 0 for 4 with the teams, man.
Thanks for the call, Ross. Ross is a Mets fan, a Vikings fan, a Rangers fan. I don't know his basketball team. I'm assuming it's the Knicks. Should be fine with the Knicks. Rich is in South Orange on the Fan next. What's up, Rich?
How you doing, Keith? Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
I've been a Minnesota Vikings fan since 1967. That was the worst game I've seen in almost 60 years or 50 years. As far as what's wrong, the success this year was all predicated on building an elite offensive line to give McCarthy protection. What should have been a top 3 offensive line is now the worst offensive line in football.
And you have Carson Wentz back there, who is 32 years old and can't move. Well, he can move all right, but he's hurt. The whole game he's grabbing his shoulder.
Like you said, why he didn't bring in Brosmer, the undrafted kid, the third stringer, it defies logic because the only excuse I can find for him is that he's anticipating that Brosmer will be the second string quarterback and he doesn't want him to get hurt.
Yeah. Trying to play for the rest of the year. Tough spot.
But, you know how you're a Net fan, and obviously we have Jet fans in the area.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you like to be rooting for a team since 1967 and you never won a Super Bowl?
No, it's so many peaks and valleys. You had Culpepper and Randy Moss and Chris Carter.
And NFC championship games we were in, 10.
Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs. But then you also had Kirk Cousins.
You know what it is? It's always the downfall that when they get in the playoffs and they go up against an elite defensive line, their offensive line gets dominated. That's been the problem for decades.
Thanks for the call, Rich. That's football, Susan. I mean, you got to build the ass first, as Tiki Barber says. You got to be strong in the trenches. Big ticket, Mekhi Becton. I saw Mekhi Becton come out of there. He's always hurt, former Jet. But no problem for Jim Harbaugh and that team. They're relying on Kamani Vidal after Omarion Hampton went down. And this kid is able to rush for 117 yards and a touchdown. Herbert balled tonight after it looked like he threw an interception in that opening drive to Isaiah Rodgers, and then they reviewed it. They're reviewing everything now as far as these catches go, and I guess it's good. Is that a catch? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at every angle. No, that ball touched the ground. Not a catch. What a flip. The first thing I tweeted was I know somebody had Vikings defense first touchdown and probably jumped off their couch let's go. And then it gets reversed by the good folks in New York. But yeah, Herbert ran the ball tonight, 7 carries, 62 yards, scrambling. He threw the ball well tonight, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he's throwing to Oronde Gadsden, a tight end who just seemed to be open. Shout out to you if you picked him up in fantasy and plugged him in at tight end. He threw a touchdown pass to Trey Harris, kid out of Ole Miss, rookie out of Ole Miss. So, I don't know. The Chargers are looking to right the ship a little bit. And we're underway for Week 8. Let's go to Jarvis in Harlem as we continue to talk about the Jets and the NFL and what's coming up this weekend. Jarvis, are you there? Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I want to talk about the Jets and, Woody Johnson. I mean, the reason why he doesn't hire coaching experience is because because this is not an attractive job that people want to come to.
Correct.
Yeah, because like Mike McCarthy don't want to come here, Bill Belichick don't want to come here. Who else?
Nobody's gonna want to have to answer to Woody, but like Aaron Glenn did, because he, his heart is tied to the place that drafted him and that he started his career, and he finally gets his opportunity to be a head coaching candidate. He wanted the Jets job, but I bet you he's getting more grays by the day. He already came in a little salt and pepper. He's getting grayer. By the time Aaron Glenn is done as the head coach of the Jets, he's gonna have a full gray beard and set of hair.
Oh my gosh, man! I mean, I bet he might. I don't know if he's gonna survive next year. So if they have another stinker, I mean, it's gonna be the same thing. Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing next year, and just because I don't think I don't know if they're gonna be a playoff team next year. So
they're not gonna be a playoff team. It's not even about that. It's about win a game, win some games. Have an offense that can move the ball, that can score touchdowns. They didn't score a touchdown for back-to-back weeks. It's like, it's so pathetic. And then Woody just made it all worse. Woody made it worse at the owner meetings. He could have declined to comment. He could have said, I don't want to speak.
Right. So that's all I got to say, man.
Thanks for the call, Jarvis. I mean, whether you're playing Tyrod Taylor, whether you're playing Justin Fields, I don't think that they're going to be able to keep up with Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, and that Cincinnati Bengals offense. So your defense has got to step up this week against a good offense that was able to beat Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers last week, and they're rested. They played Thursday Night Football. They had the mini bye. And with Woody talking, it doesn't help anybody, because I think I don't know if they came out and said Tyrod's going to be the starter today. But I think they have to play Tyrod, because Woody just basically told everybody he thinks Justin Fields sucks. And, I would give Justin Fields the day off, or just, hey, man, take a back seat. Just because we understand everything that has been said about you, if we try to start you to try to show, hey, we make the decisions around here and you're terrible, then it's just even worse. I don't think the Jets have a chance to win this week, but maybe they have a chance to score. Maybe they have a chance to score a touchdown. We'll talk more about it. I'll go look and see if that was confirmed. I just did see. I'm watching SNY. They had the two of them, right? Because Tyrod was day-to-day with the knee, and day-to-day, he's not out. So by the time Sunday rolls around, he'll be good to go. I think they're going to go with the veteran Tyrod Taylor, who finished the game against Carolina, and they're going to hope that he gives them a little bit of a better chance to score points, and then Justin Fields will be the backup, and they'll take another L, but you hope that they can get some first down, score a touchdown, be competitive. 888-808-1019. We got to take a break. Keith McPherson on the Fan. Back right after this.
The Scarlet Knights take on the Purdue Boilermakers. High noon tomorrow. The home of Big Ten Rutgers football is WFAN. Touchdown, Rutgers! Powered by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics, and The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey app.
Kick off the new season in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Looking for an SUV with extra space and style? You'll find an impressive lineup of GLC, GLE, and GLS models in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Or take advantage of their exclusive loaner-to-owner program. Buy or lease a 2025 X-Loaner and enjoy the experience of a like-new Mercedes-Benz. Don't wait. Upgrade your drive this fall at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, the Tri-State's premier destination for luxury driving.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
This is Alex Shulman. And this is JJ Hill of Shulman & Hill, New York's premier injury law firm.
We'll always fight for you when you're injured at work.
If you've ever wished you had a lawyer in the family, now you will.
At Shulman & Hill, it's never one and done. Once you're a client, you're always part of our family.
We'll always go the extra mile for you.
New Yorkers in every borough and on every block know us by name. Shulman & Hill.
Get your free consultation at hurtny.com. That's hurtny.com.
Imagine a gentleman's club with over 200 gorgeous exotic dancers every week.
Hey, big boy.
From the people who make fantasies come true, Gallagher's 2000 in Long Island City is the place to be. Gallagher's 2000, a gentleman's club for today, gentlemen. Gallagher's 2000 features 2 floors, 3 stages, discounted drinks, VIP, champagne rooms, and dinner specials every night. Gallagher's 2000 offers complimentary lunch Thursdays and Fridays with any drink purchase.
Come on down, big boy.
Gallagher's 2000 is New York's largest upscale gentleman's club, and Gallagher's 2000's bachelor parties will blow you away. For their bachelor party specials, call 718-361-1348. Gallagher's 2000 is located at 4319 37th Street in Long Island City, Queens, just a half a block north of Queens Boulevard. Call 718-361-1348. Gallagher's 2000 is unlike any club in New York. Come tonight for the time of your life. Gallagher's 2000.
Let your imagination run wild.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Go right
Running with the Devils on November 2nd, a 5K race hosted by RWJ Barnabas Health and the New Jersey Devils. Register at rwjbh.org/running with the Devils.
Put WFAN in your contact list. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS.
Right into what is going on with the Rangers completely regressing. Spoke a little bit about the success of the Islanders. And, of course, we got right back to talking about the Jets, Jets. During the break, I'm like, I don't think I saw anywhere that they announced the starter this week. But what I did see was Tyrod spoke today, and he says, I'm trying to keep it normal, sticking true to my process, preparing mentally and physically to be ready for whatever opportunity is. I have no anticipation for my role. My sole focus is being available and ready to lead the team when called upon. So there's like a game that they're playing for some reason. They're playing a game with the media, a game with themselves because of what Woody said. And I guess they think there's a competitive disadvantage, but I also saw Antoine Staley write that, as a reporter at practice, that Fields and Taylor split the first team reps. I don't know. It's like the Jets are trying to outsmart themselves. You guys tell me. Dave is in Rockland County. Dave, you're on the fan.
Yeah, I have a question. If the Jets go 0-17 and they don't sign a starting quarterback, is that a good enough reason to just give up on my Jets fandom?
I think so. Definitely. It's like, what are you doing? It's malpractice. It's like as bad as the last few years have been for the Jets in the Saleh Douglas era. Like, if they don't win a game this year, and then like they go forward with, okay, we have Justin Fields under contract, I think Tyrod would be gone. And they need to sign a veteran quarterback and draft one.
So let's say they don't get 17 losses. What if let's say they just go in last place? Is that like another reason? And let's say if they don't draft the starting QB?
I can't tell you what to do you? But I think that this is an inflection point. I think that right now with where you are with the owner, with this head coach, with no wins, the only team that doesn't have a win, like even the Titans were able to figure out how to get a win. And they fired their coach after that. Like, life is too short to be miserable over the New York Jets. I think they set the franchise back with this hire. I think they set the franchise back with this quarterback. And I don't trust that they're going to draft a rookie and he's going to come into the league and be Jackson Dart.
It's crazy. I look back to the days of Fitzmagic as a Jets quarterback.
and those were good times. Those were good days.
Times.
Compared to
Jets,
this,
those were great days.
He was a smart quarterback. He could throw the ball. He knew where to go with the ball. He wasn't anywhere near the athlete of Justin Fields, but he could play the position.
100%.
Thanks for the call, Dave. I'll say this, I think it was a couple days ago when Woody spoke where I was like, if I'm a fan and I'm listening to Woody talk about, we have great fans and, they have faith and, it's a phenomenon in sports that happens when you're a fan. Like, no, that's the wrong message, Woody. And he talks about how smart the fans are. It's like, don't insult their intelligence. They know you're the problem. And so now another problem has been created. Justin Fields has been terrible. Tyrod Taylor comes in the game and throws 2 picks. Woody, a couple days after the game, goes out and says, we have a quarterback with a terrible rating. Any coach would have, a problem with a quarterback like that. It'd be nice if we could complete a pass. And so now the coach, who the decision's in his hand, he decides, here we are, now Thursday. I would assume they got to say something today, right? Week 8 is underway. We just watched Thursday Night Football. They haven't named a starter yet. And then even when they ask the players, the 2 quarterbacks, they're just taking it day by day, getting ready. What? And I mean, Tyrod's got a knee issue. So maybe that's playing into it as well, that he might not be moving as good. I think they're in a situation where Justin Fields is going to play either way because, okay, you can start Tyrod and then one hit, one sack. Tyrod is not a big dude. Like a 300-pound guy lays on his leg wrong, and trust, in the NFL, they know all of that stuff. Oh, your left knee, your right knee, it's your left knee. Okay, when I hit you, I'm going to roll a little bit. I'm going to lay on your left. Like, he might have to come out of the game. He might be hobbled. So you're going to see Justin Fields anyway. It's all bad. It just all gets worse. David is in the Bronx on the fan. Go for it, David.
Hey, Keith, how's it going?
It's going.
You remember me? I know you by the Devils game in the club over there. Came over, I took a picture with you.
You met me at, oh, yes, I do remember. Yeah. What's up, man? Thanks for calling, and thanks for saying hello.
Yeah.
The phone you had tripped me out.
The phone, yeah. So
I was like, bro, I've had a phone like that, but I hadn't had a phone like that since, like, high school, so props to you. I think it's probably, you know? Yeah, no, it's probably so much better because, like, my phone right now is such a... there's too much in it. I'm on it all the time. I wish I had a phone that just was more simple.
Listen, I can give you a number if you want, you know?
So, yeah, hit me up so I can go trade in this iPhone and just dumb it down a bit. But anyway, what you got for us, bro?
Yes, I actually got, I'm a big Jets fan, and this past Sunday I was at the game, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I don't even know what number Jets game it is. I've been to a bunch in the last couple of years.
How long did you stay? Did you stay for the whole game or you got out?
No, I stayed for the whole game, but I actually planned with my friends. We wore paper bags on top of our heads the entire game.
That's what it is now. You weren't alone. I saw videos of a couple guys coming out there with the bags on their heads. You're trying to send a message to the organization.
It's crazy. I'm saying when we have our owner that's drafting people and picking up people and signing people based on Madden rankings. I mean, I can't be a fan. I'm saying, listen, Keith, I don't know what's the worst organization right now, Woody Johnson's organization or Jerry Jones' organization, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Cowboys having a good year,
They're both bad. I mean, they're different kinds of bad. Jerry Jones' organization is worth the most money, but ultimately, they're not going to win anything. They have one of the best offenses in the league, but one of the worst defenses in the league. Something is missing. They traded away Micah Parsons. With the Jets, Woody Johnson gave $30 million guaranteed to a quarterback that he threw under the bus this week in Week 7. Like, doesn't make sense.
Crazy. So listen, I got a couple of mottos, and I want to see which one you think is the best. You know how many quarterback prospects next year? Or you don't know that much.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, I'm watching college football. I'm learning about Fernando Mendoza. I've known about Dante Moore, Ty Simpson. After that first game against Florida State, he's been pretty good, but they're not sure if he's going to come out. Unfortunately, part of the job covering the Jets now, you need to start looking at the quarterbacks that are coming into the NFL. So, yeah, I'm going to learn about them.
Crazy weekend. So I got a couple of mottos. I want to see which one you think is the best, right?
All right.
So we got one that started in the beginning of the year, which maybe isn't the best one anymore because he's not so good. But we got March for Arch, which he's not so good anymore. So.
And he ain't coming out. He's gonna stay. But that's a decent one. Go on.
All right. Then we got let's lose some more and draft Dante Moore.
Lose more for more. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And then we got the best one out of all, the best quarterback and the best everything. We got be a loser for Mendoza.
But it's Mendoza, so it's got to be season's over for Mendoza. Thanks for the call, David. 888-808-1019. Like this is your life as a Jets fan. When you go to the game, you bring a brown paper bag, which like where do you get the brown paper bags now? When I go to a grocery store, I bring my own bag. Like so now as a Jet fan, you got to go out of your way to find a brown paper bag. They don't have them at ShopRite. You got to bring your own bags in. And now, as a Jet fan, Week 8, you don't know who's starting this week. So you're starting to look at college quarterbacks, and you're trying to come up with a tank for Tua, a suck for luck. You're trying to come up with a slogan to put on a sign for the next time you go to Jet Life Stadium. Season's over for Mendoza. Lose more for Dante Moore. Great. Sounds good. Josh is in Passaic on the fan. What's up, Josh?
Yo, Keith, what's doing, man? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I'm feeling a little better now that we're rolling in the show.
I mean, this weather has hit me hard,
Yeah, it happens.
When I left New Jersey, it was 80 degrees. I come back and I'm like sick and all.
Yeah, that wind. It's you come outside. I make the mistake a lot of thinking I could go outside at like a t-shirt and sweatpants, and then that wind hits, and I'm like, I need a hoodie already.
Yes, but it's running pretty tough on me. My comparisons, when someone's sick and they give him some drugs or some medicine, they slowly tone it down for him so he could just break off of it. I didn't get that. So anyway, but another comparison I have, with the Jets, and I'll explain this. You want to compare them in a good way. It's like a lie, a growing lie that you say you want to get yourself out of some sticky situation. You say you make up something to a person. Now, turns out because you said that
starts to snowball. There's a name for that when a lie grows.
And each time you open your mouth, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And you don't expect it. It can't be worse than it's not. Yeah, the Jets 0-7. How could you make the fans feel worse? Let's go send your owner out to go speak. And a quarterback you're probably playing the next week say you can't go play the pass. It's pretty wild how you have a team that does this. This guy's not like a new owner. You got to learn at some point.
You know what I'm thinking of? You know how Pinocchio's nose gets longer the more that he lies and doesn't tell the truth?
Then Woody Johnson's one extending. Now MetLife Stadium's got a roof.
The Jets playoff losing streak, the Jets streak of not making the playoff grows and grows like Pinocchio's nose. Woody's just adding to it.
That combination. It's just very, very good. With the comparisons there, that's flying high. And on the other side, it came back a year or two ago. The conversation was always the Jets and the Giants, who's in a better place? And most people would say the Jets. And the Giants are in a better place. With Judge Furman, the rookie, you actually had a devastating loss happen past 5-6 weeks of football. Usually we've turned heads by now. So in fact, you know that the Giants have come back over here.
It's a devastating loss because you were up 19-0 on the road. It is crazy going into this season, thinking about the win total for the Jets and the Giants. With the Giants and their strength of schedule playing all these teams that were in the playoffs, established franchises, we're they're not going to win a game. With the Jets, we're oh, yeah, they could win. They could win probably. If they won 7 games with Rob Saleh, they can win 7 games. They're not winning 7 games. And now with the Giants, we're looking at with their quarterback and their running back and their new identity, they're going to be in every game. They should have probably beat the Cowboys, Saints, and the Broncos this last week. It's unpredictable. You don't know. But you do know. You know that the Jets are going to jet, and you know that somewhere in that Giants organization, they have a history of winning. They have some pride. They have a culture.
Yeah, but we young fans don't really realize that. We have to talk to our parents, and the older friends for that. We've yet to really see this.
I know, that's crazy. That's kind of crazy to think that there are kids now that
I was 3 years old when the Giants won their last Super Bowl. I don't remember none of it. I remember
it well.
The Packers playoff game with the Giants, and that's when memory starts.
Thanks for the call, Josh. These kids don't remember the Giants' 2 Super Bowls, 2007 and 2011. I talk about how my brother was a Giants fan. My brother was geeked up off that. I even had a superstition. I bought him Giants gear for Christmas those 2 years, and then after that I stopped. I'm how did I buy? But you know what it was? Because it's they're going into the playoffs. I know I think I bought him a hoodie one year and then a knit cap one year, and then he's able to flex it, and Giants win, and Giants fans have the battery in their back, and there's a whole younger generation of kids that either were too young to remember 2011 or weren't alive in 2007. It's crazy now. We're close to 2026. And people don't realize how much in the future, we actually are. We're very much in the future. David from the Bronx who called me, shout out to him. I saw him at the Devils game. He took a picture of me with his cell phone, and it looked like a Ericsson. I used to have this old, my first camera phone. And I'm not making fun of him because I was kind of jealous after. I'm a slave to this iPhone. I go to sleep with this iPhone. I wake up to this iPhone. This iPhone controls my entire life. I can't get off this damn phone. Everything I do is on this phone. I kind of and the amount of people that DM me, email me, LinkedIn message me or whatever, I'm I don't have to read all these messages. I don't have to, but you do. And once upon a time, you didn't have this many ways to be contacted. Twitter DM, Instagram DM, email, text, missed call, voicemail. What did they used to do before cell phones? Like, they had beepers and pagers. They had landlines. Where it's like, if I'm not physically home, I can't answer the phone. That must be bliss. That must be heaven. Like Joe Flacco was talking about, the guy sitting at the bar by himself must be in heaven. Must have been heaven back in the day to leave your house and like just use your eyes and ears and senses and see you when I see you. My dad used to tell me that he would park his car sometimes at home so people would think he was home and leave him alone and then dip off on foot or dip off in someone else's car. He's like, yeah, back in the day, we didn't have cell phones. Someone blow you up. Someone like be able to see your location. Like that's in Instagram now. My location is off in Instagram, but now even in the Instagram app, someone can see where you are on Instagram. I got like 20,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know 1,000 people that I like. I probably don't even know 1,000 of them personally. I don't want people to know where I am, but you know where I am. I'm at the Fan. I'm downtown. I'm at the station. You know what else I thought about? I'm glad I'm feeling a little better now. I was having a conversation with someone. I was like, I've done every single show from here. Never done a remote show. Outside of like Fanatics Fest or, American Dream or, like the drag, like these physical shows, I've done every single show in here. I don't have the Comrec system. And since I came in right after COVID, like late 2021, I've never done a show from home. I've commuted in and out. I've never done a show from the crib, which is like, I'm proud of that. Anyway, Justin in Floral Park, before we go to the break, what's up, man? You got it.
Happy Friday, Keith. You should do a show from Yankee Stadium after the game. You should seriously do a remote there.
I would love to, but I think when we talked about it...
Even a Devils game.
The Devils would be rocking.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
I don't know, though. Now that's actually a great idea, and I know how we could possibly make that.
Man, I'm like the publicist, and I'm not even getting paid.
Yeah, now the gears are spinning. I'm like, I know exactly who to go to at the Devils to get that done. But with the Yankees, they shut the lights off. They shut the building down. And my show goes to 2. Nobody's staying in there till 2:30 for me to do the show.
Maybe Al, because he got his 5 playoff games, maybe he can leave the lights on for you. As far as the World Series goes, Keith, listen, I know this is a weird take, but I'm actually rooting for the Blue Jays for 2 reasons. Number one, the most important reason is because Don Mattingly. Second, I don't want any other team to win back-to-back. The Yankees are the last team to do it, 98, 99, 2000.
I understand.
Dodgers could do that. It's also why I don't want
you don't have this feeling about the Blue Jays?
No, because you know what, Keith? They were the better team. They deserve it. Yankees choked. What else is new, bro?
Yeah. I have this. I can't shake the feeling that, like,
listen, dude,
one more game.
Here's a story, man. Guerrero talked smack, but he backed it up.
Yeah,
okay?
he
it's
dominated.
Like when Michael Jordan used to dominate the Knicks. He backed it up. So did Guerrero, okay? And so did all the other guys. They can say, the Yankees lose all they want, but they backed it up.
Yeah,
and
Gossman,
knock them off.
Savage.
Exactly.
Reed and Rodon did not have it.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't. I can't shake the feeling of like last year we got to the World Series as the 1 seed.
Correct.
And we didn't get it done. And if they get it done, it's like the Blue Jays can look at the Yankees and say, a year after you failed, we did what you couldn't do.
Keith, I think that's good. It's like when the Red Sox knocked us off in 2004. It was good for the rivalry. I think this is like sort of like the new rivalry.
Was it?
Now.
That was hell on earth.
Keith, it was. But what happened 5 years later? We won a World Series.
5 years later.
But Keith, so what? That's the last one we won. Right now, the Yankees are so far away from winning a World Series. It's not even close, Keith.
Yeah, but you know why they went all in like that 5 years later? For George.
Yeah, well, they should do it for us. I mean, dude, they're not. The way they're constructed right now, they're a regular season like champion. That's it. They're like, they don't know how to build for the postseason. I'm hoping maybe watching Toronto, who doesn't strike out, maybe they could build up some guys that don't strike out, that put contact on the ball. Maybe that would be nice. Because every year it's the same time, same story. Judge strikes out in a big spot. Stanton strikes out in a big spot. Now Belly strikes out in a big spot.
All of them.
We got to get guys. Now, last thing. You talk about the Jets, how awful they run. The worst run franchise is Chris Drury and the New York Rangers. How do you lose to the Sharks at home?
That was a bad one.
Embarrassing. 6 goals you give up to that team.
And they fought back.
God.
They fought back to tie it. They tied it late.
And here's the worst part.
worst part, Tyler Radish got a hat trick. Nobody even knows who the hell he is for the Rangers.
I just said, I'm like, you can't feel good about that? Nobody cares.
Yeah, no, because their top players aren't performing. Panarin's got, 2 goals? Mika Zibanejad's got 2 goals. Kreider's got about 6 in Anaheim. They traded the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Drury's got to go, Keith. He's the worst GM out here besides the man that works in, what is it called, Florham Park. Okay? The Rangers are a disgrace, dude. Have a good night, Keith. Love you.
Thanks for the call, Justin. We got to take a break. It's already 1 o'clock. Everything is on the table, from the Rangers to the Islanders to Week 8 in the NFL, Thursday Night Football. Who's playing quarterback for the Jets? It doesn't really matter. They're not going to beat the Bengals. And, I do want to talk a little bit more about Jackson Dart, the Giants, as they're going down to Philly to face the Eagles and try and sweep the Eagles for the first time since 2007. Keith McPherson on the Fan. Stay with us. Call us up. We will be right back.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Don't go for 2 until you have to. That's just a simple rule that I've always, as a broadcaster, I always thought that way. As a former player, I've always thought that way. And as a fan, I always think that way.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Tune in after every Giants game for the Giants Drive of the Game, sponsored by New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety, reminding you to look out for pedestrians. Safety is a shared responsibility.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Everyone knows when Sunday comes around for kickoff and tailgates, you gotta come ready. And who's the MVP of my game day spread? Mike's Amazing Mustard. This stuff just isn't a condiment, it's the first round pick. Put it on your hot dog, your sausage, or your favorite hero, and it's an instant touchdown. It's bold, it's got that perfect bit of spice, and it always delivers in the clutch. So this season, when it's 4th and goal at the grill, don't pass the ketchup, pass the mustard. Mike's Amazing Mustard. Find it this season at ShopRite.
Injured? Don't be a whiner. Call me, Attorney Mark Miner. I'm Mark Miner, and I have over 30 years of experience handling personal injury cases. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. You can trust that the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner will treat you with respect and fight for your rights. Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. Our goal is to transform your pain into payment. If there is no recovery, there is no fee. We handle all types of accident cases and value the opportunity to help you. The sooner you call, the better. If you are injured, call 1-800-LAW-LINE so we can discuss how to transform your pain into payment. Don't be a whiner. Call Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner at 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner, personal injury attorneys.
Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That's 1-800-LAW-LINE.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE. Back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back?
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 1 o'clock. I'm Justin Rock. This report is brought to you by Dr. Jay Shaw at Samwell Institute for Pain Management. Visit SamwellPain.com. A crazy day in hoops, more so for the action off the court. Early Thursday morning, it was announced over 30 people arrested, including Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Heat guard Terry Rozier, in connection with separate federal investigations into illegal sports betting and rigged poker games linked to 4 Mafia families. Billups and Rozier both placed on indefinite leave by the NBA. Knicks and Celtics set to square off later today at the Garden. Mitchell Robinson already ruled out with an ankle injury. Karl Anthony Towns and Josh Hart both listed as questionable. NHL, a wild game at the Garden. Taylor Radish's first career hat trick. However, the Rangers' home woes continued. Top pick Macklin Celebrini with a hat trick of his own. Sharks beat the Blue Shirts in overtime 6-5. Head coach Mike Sullivan not pleased.
That's not the game that we want to put on the ice every night that we think will give us a chance to win, that's for sure. You know, you can't play 2/3 of a game or half of a game and think you're going to win consistently. And the last 2 games, that's what we did.
That courtesy of MSG on the island. Emil Heineman, a pair of goals. The Islanders run roughshod over the Red Wings 7-2. NFL, Sauce Gardner missed practice again for the Jets Thursday. Tyrod Taylor, Breece Hall were both limited. For the Giants, Darius Slayton limited by a hamstring injury. Kicker Graham Gano designated to return from injured reserve. It's 47 degrees and clear in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Justin Rock.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
All right, we're back. I've got about 50 minutes here to take your calls and talk the rest of New York sports for the night. We started to lean in a little bit to the Giants conversation, but before we do that, I want to go to Noah in Queens. Noah, you're on the Fan.
Hey, how you doing, Keith? I'm a big fan, man.
I'm good. Thanks for calling.
All right. So, real quick, just want to say it's funny that you met a guy with a Sony Ericsson because I'm a young guy. I'm 23, and I just got one of those actually because pretty much the same reasons you're saying, man. I mean, the iPhone is it's too good of a piece of technology. It does too much stuff, and it's hard to focus. It's hard to lock in, you know. So
yeah, and we don't even realize what it's doing. I realize it because I'm a little older, and I'm just like, I feel it in my wrist. I feel it even in my neck. I'm like, I am always looking down on this phone. There's always something taking my attention away on this phone.
Nah, absolutely, man. But as far as sports goes, real quick, wanted to talk NBA just to say, did you see that Wembanyama game against the Mavs?
I went back and watched the highlights, and it was his whole performance was really dumb. Like when he blocked the shot, then went down on the other end, then hit the step back 3 and 1. I'm like, what are we doing now? Like, what is this version of an NBA player now?
Yeah, he's 21 years old, and he looks like NBA 2K created player, man. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah, he's like a video game player that's like a Monstar, and everybody else is just a regular player. He's bigger than everybody else. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can defend, and he's got it, man. He number 1 pick, and I think this year people are already putting bets on him to be MVP. I don't know if that's going to happen, but after the first performance, people are like, this is the best player in the league.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be MVP just because his team is kind of mid, but
you need to win.
As the talent goes, I wanted to ask you, 'cause, you've been alive for longer than I have. Is this the greatest talent you've ever seen?
In the NBA?
Yes.
There's a lot of talent, but I won't say the greatest because there's a lot of guys hurt. But the NBA is in such a healthy place because there are so many good players across markets. Like even as they threw on the games tonight, like the Warriors. Now people are looking at the Warriors like, yo, the Warriors still got it, man. The Warriors like. Even in the chat just now, they're like, yo, Al Horford's on the Warriors? I'm like, yeah, as soon as the Celtics lost, they disbanded. Porzingis to the Hawks, Drew Holiday to the Trailblazers. Like, the NBA was able to have opening night with OKC, and they were on tonight against the Pacers. And they won again. And SGA is SGA. He had a good night in the double overtime. He comes out and drops 55 tonight. This is the MVP of the league. Like, not wasting any time. Then you get Jokic versus Steph, and that game goes to overtime. The Warriors win 1-3. Like there's so much talent across the league. Any night that you turn on the nationally televised games, there's good matchups. Even tonight, right? The Knicks will be on Amazon Prime for the first time ever. You've got Iron Eagles, Stan Van Gundy on the call, and they're going to face a Celtics team that actually lost 2 nights ago to VJ Edgecombe and the Sixers, but they're the Celtics, right? They have Jaylen Brown, they have Derek White, they have good players. They won a championship 2 years ago. That game is set up, and then I think the Timberwolves. Who do the Timberwolves play right after that?
Right now,
you've got the Timberwolves versus the Lakers. So it's Ant-Man versus Luka. Like there's definitely a ton of talent all across the league. So whenever you watch these nationally televised games, it isn't going to be like, oh, I don't want to watch this game. There's nobody on the floor. It's must-see TV.
No, absolutely, man. I was just so impressed by Wemby. I mean, he really looks like he could be like a guy that really challenges, like the LeBrons or the Jordans for the throne of all-time players. Obviously, if he stays healthy and assuming the rest of his career goes great, but I've never seen somebody move like that, man. I saw a tweet that said he was moving like a campfire tail, and that's the way I feel, man. I mean, I've never seen anything like that.
It's scary to me. When I watch him play, I'm just like, it's alien-like. Like, this guy is not a regular human being. I also, in my notes, I put in, because I fell down the rabbit hole of watching his highlights and then searching his name. Supposedly, he became a monk over the offseason. Like, he went to China.
Shaolin monk.
You saw that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he had a journey of inner discipline. He must have went where Bruce Wayne went with Ra's al Ghul, and he stepped his game up. He became a monk and took it to another level. I'm like, what? Yeah, he went to he said a journey of inner discipline, focus, and mind-body harmony at the Shaolin Temple.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as that goes, it's like. Sorry about the robot voice working. But yeah, as far as that goes, man, obviously he has the frame. Obviously he has the age relative breakout, but this dude is doing everything right. He can't make a mistake. They ask who he's training with. He's training with Tim Duncan in the offseason.
Of course. That's required.
I just can't believe it, man.
Hey, the Spurs have a great facility and a great culture of winning and people for him to lean on. And then he's not stupid either. He comes to New York. He's in New York playing chess in Central Park. He's in New York at Fanatics Fest. Like I said, I saw him at Fanatics Fest, and he scared me. He's like a giraffe. It's like a zoo animal. I'm like, your head should not be 2 feet above everybody else's head in here.
Man, he's throwing down windmills, and he's, like, standing up. I can't believe it.
Yeah, so, that's what I'm saying. What are we doing now, bro? This is where we are now in the NBA. Supposedly he grew. That's another rumor that was on the internet, that he grew more because he is young. Like, he might not be done growing. They're saying he's 7'7".
7'7"? Dang, I heard 7'5", man. That's crazy.
They said he grew a couple inches over the summer. So, yeah, we are in the Wemby era of the NBA. Thanks for the call, Noah. 888-808-1019. Yeah, let's see. I had another post as I fell out on the rabbit. Victor Wembanyama is approaching 7'7", making him potentially the tallest player since Manute Bol. He's a early MVP dark horse if he can stay healthy. And this is the hype and buzz of the NBA. But with the gambling scandal that came out today, it poured a little cold water on the league. Stephen A. Smith blamed Donald Trump for it. I never really watched First Take, but when I woke up and I saw there was news, I was like, all right, let me put on First Take, let me put on Sports Center, let me put on Get Up. And Stephen A. asked for like a close-up. He asked for his like single shot in the camera to say that like this is Trump's get back. And I'm like, what? But then, I mean, he had points. You know, he said something along the lines like, you know, people tried to throw Donald Trump in jail. Now he's coming for people. And like, you know, he cited, you know, Trump and his, you know, Trump Marina in Atlantic City and his casinos and how he knows that whole business. And I don't know. I didn't believe it. And then the guy, the FBI agent came out today to say like, that's the stupidest thing he's ever heard. But Stephen A., who is supposed to be running for some type of office, he does his politics. But yeah, that's where we were with the NBA after a great opening night. You wake up to see all the highlights the next day, and they're talking about Chauncey Billups, they're talking about Terry Rozier, they're talking about Damon Jones, and even LeBron James. Yes, even Bron. LeBron James, who, you know, they marked him as safe. And LeBron James was unaware. But LeBron is a liar, so I don't know about that. But let me chill before somebody from Clutch Sports calls 888-808-1019 and says, watch him out. Don't be talking about the king. All right, I want to talk about the NFL. Mitchell, we're coming to you. Wilson, we're coming to you. But first, I want to play some audio. One is something that I alluded to last night. I was talking about Will Compton. I was talking about Taylor Lewan and their Bussin' with the Boys podcast that they do. And shout out to them. They're killing it. They've got FanDuel sponsorships. And then as I was watching Get Up today, they have like a segment in Get Up. Well, here is a cut from the podcast this week. They had All-Pro Super Bowl champion linebacker Zach Bond on, and they got right to it. Fleegs, if you could cue up Will Compton. I'm trying to find exactly what they wrote here. Yeah, Bussin' with the Boys podcast. They said Cam Scatterboot might be the all-white team captain soon. And if you remember, there was like, what was it? It was Rashad Mendenhall. I remember Rashad Mendenhall like had like beef with Will Compton on Twitter about putting together like an all black football team, and then Will Compton put together like an all white team, and it was a pretty decent team. But he leaned into Cam Scatterboot, and he didn't hold any punches. He went right to Zach Bond and asked him, because you guys saw on Thursday Night Football Cam Scatterboot running over Eagles linebacker Zach Bond. They will have a rematch. Here's what Zach Bond had to say when asked about facing Cam Scatterboot.
Do have to ask Cam Scatterboot.
Ooh.
Hey. I was like, oh no, not my dog, ZB.
That's one of those guys you watch on film and you're like, dang, he runs hard. But you don't really know until you feel it yourself.
I'm a gorilla in a fucking scoop.
Well, we had to dump that. I didn't realize they came in with the Chief Keith, but I wanted you to hear him say, Cam Scatterboot is the guy that you don't realize how hard he runs, how strong he is, how tough he is until you face him. The first time around, I think Zach Bond thought it was sweet. Second time around, these guys are going to be ready. And you're going into their building. And they're coming off a win, not a loss. And it's not a short week like it was last time. this is going to be a real test for the Giants. Let's hear from Saquon Barkley. Oh, we got to wait for the dump. So let me go to a call and we'll get to the next audio. I had to dump that. They played Chief Keef. They played Chief Keef right after it, and it came up with the F-bomb, so we had to dump that. But they are putting respect on these rookies. Cam Scatterbu also went viral because of the Knicks game. He was right under the hoop, and Newsday put out a picture of OG Anunoby dunking the ball, and Cam Scatterbu is underneath the hoop flexing, and everybody loves the guy. You know, he fits right in, one of us. Even though he's from Sacramento, he has quickly become a king in New York. So I am excited to see if they are up for the challenge. I am excited to see if they are able to duplicate what they did. Now, I don't expect them to beat the Eagles like they beat them on Thursday Night Football because they completely caught them off guard. They were able to put up 34 points. And the Eagles are going to be ready this time. But I think I was looking at something before, like the Eagles are like 70% favored to win. And, the Eagles are another 7.5 point favorite. So the Giants are dogs again. They were 7.5 point dogs when it was Thursday Night Football at MetLife. So let's see if they can take that down. And you know what? I was saying, the first couple of days this week, got to forget about the Broncos loss. Can't have a hangover. Got to go down to Philly and knock off the Eagles, and I think that they have a short enough memory. I think these guys are focused on winning, and they know that they should have won that game. The special teams coordinator even came out and took blame, for the kicking issue. So let's get back to the phones, 888-808-1019, talking about the Giants matchup, talking about the Giants going to face the Philadelphia Eagles and what you guys are thinking about your team. Michael is in Fairhaven with us next. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Keith?
Hanging out, man. How are you?
I'm good. I actually I learned about you just by listening to like the daytime stuff, and I love the show, so I appreciate you taking the call.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm sure this got litigated over the week, but I haven't been in the car as much as I usually am. My question, it's more of like your opinion take on the whole Brian Dable Denver collapse thing, but I feel like all the flack that he's been getting is kind of unjust because what kind of happened in that game, if you point to each individual thing, like he's an offensive specialist, right? So people are getting on him.
Dable?
For the defensive. Yeah.
He's the head coach, though. Offense is his specialty, but he's the head coach. You got to be the CEO, right? You could have a CEO that is, big on the finances, but like he's also got to, at sometimes know what's going on with the people team. He's also got to know, you know what I'm saying? Like that, it falls on the head coach too. Cause like, I know everybody wanted to bury Shane Bowen, but like fool me, can't fool me again. You could call timeout. You could override the call, so go on. But I just can't put Brian Dable as an offensive specialist when this is his fourth year as the head coach of the team.
No, I get that. And he has big time administrative responsibilities, right? He's got to take care of everything. But like the kicking situation, is that not Joe Shane's fault? And then dropping 8 into coverage, right? That's Shane Bowen's call. But the guys didn't execute the game plan, right? So I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong on this. I don't know. I haven't been able to rewind it on the Odyssey app. Shameless plug. But
the ability to rewind. Yeah. I said they've won together. They lose together. The thing about football is there are so many moving parts. There are so many guys that have to work in concert for you to win. And we could break down a bunch of little things. Dart threw an interception. Cam Scatterbu got blown up on the play. Tiki Barber's whole thing was, hey, you put the ball into a rookie quarterback's hand when you should have ran it. So, like, that would be on Dable. But, no, that would be on Kafka, right? Kafka's the play caller.
Right, he's playing calls. So I almost feel like everyone coming down on him, and I get it. He's the CEO. He's the administrator. He makes all the, the final say and all that stuff. But, like, is he, and again, I don't know because I'm not an NFL head coach, but, like, does he really have that much pull on, like, the in-the-moment decisions on things that he's not the specialist in, right? Like,
yeah, and, like, if you watch these experiences, like, even looking at Jim Harbaugh tonight, Like, these experienced head coaches, they're damn near on the field. Like, at any given time or moment, it is their team. Like, they're playing Madden. They're on the sticks. Like, they are affecting the game. These coaches, like Sean Payton, like, these guys, and that's what you have to be a good head coach. You have to know the offense, the defense, the special teams. And if you don't like something, if you don't want them dropping 8 in coverage, don't drop 8 in coverage. If Dexter Lawrence isn't on the field, you have the power to say, no, Dexter Lawrence got to be in. You're the head coach. You're the one that has to stand at the podium before anyone else. The rest of these guys don't stand at the podium after the game. The coach does. The rest of these guys meet the media on Wednesday. Right? Now we're hearing from, Shane Bowen. Now we're hearing from special teams coach. Shane Bowen says, I got to do a better job. Just do a better job. We don't want to hear you got to do it. In the moment, you got to do it. Now you got to go down and face the Eagles, and I think this is going to be a tight game. I think it's going to come down to some kicks that are either made or missed. It's going to come down to some turnovers. It's going to come down to some decisions on 3rd down, 4th down. They got to be more buttoned up.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I guess, again, I don't want to over-litigate because I'm sure this station's been full of, Dable this, Dable that, and all that. But
for 4 years,
moving on to more, I guess, positive question. Your thoughts on Jackson Dart? I want to hear it because, again, I haven't been in the car all week. And, again, appreciate you having me. Shout out New Jersey.
Thanks for the call. Michael down in Fairhaven, maybe a Rumson guy, maybe a Red Bank regional guy. I don't know. Short conference. We on. Man, I've talked about Jackson Dart at length. I'm excited to watch this kid play quarterback every time, every snap, every series, because he's fearless. He can make something out of nothing. And now, everybody's giving him his props and his respect. It's not a fluke. He's going to struggle. He's going to take his lumps. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to fumble the ball. He's going to try and get too much. I was watching Chase Daniel break down his film. And I can't play it because it's too long, and nobody wants to hear, Chase Daniel call out like coverage and protection and stuff like that. But, he's like, it's here. He's like, here's where I thought he pressed a little bit. And it's the play where Dart gets the luck of a ball being tipped into Theo Johnson's hands, and it turns into a touchdown. And so even Chase Daniel said, and Chase Daniel, I don't care what anybody says about Chase Daniel, there's no way you stay in the NFL as a backup quarterback and don't know all the X's and O's. He has been in film rooms for years. He has been with Andy Reid. He has been with Drew Brees. So, he says Jackson Dart is the future in New York. There's zero questions about that. Love how he moves in the pocket. Doesn't look like a rookie. And that is what, for me, I don't think any of us knew. If we would have known that, the only one that probably could say that he knew that was Brian Dable, as it comes back to Dable, because Dable made him QB2. And when he did that, I'm like, what's the point of having Jameis? What's the point of putting this kid one play away? Is he ready? He must be, because everybody knows that in football. If you're the backup, you're one play away. You're one tackle away from, hey, you're up. So they clearly thought so. And we watched in the preseason, and he made plays in the preseason. He was competitive in the preseason. He was fiery in the preseason, but I didn't know he was going to be able to do this against the Broncos defense, against the Eagles defense. And he's got a hell of a challenge this week. He's facing the Eagles defense for the second time. Jalen Carter was not there the first time. Quinyon Mitchell was not there the first time. Those are arguably their two best players on that side of the ball. So let's see what he can do with Jalen Carter breathing down his neck. Let's see what he can do with Quinyon Mitchell locking up Bo Collins or Darius Slayton. It's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little harder. He's going to probably have to make some more plays with his legs. I would get Cam Scatterbo going again, who rushed for 110 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wilson's in Roxbury, New Jersey with us next. What's up, Wilson?
Hey, what's up, Keith? How are you, man?
Good. Thank you for calling.
Hey, listen, man. I don't know what the situation is with everybody, especially in the radio station, about this horrendous head coach that we have as a Giants fan. You know what his record is, man? The past 41 games.
It's bad.
11 wins and 30 losses.
Yeah, it's bad.
And somehow I got to hear. You know what? And the worst part about it is this, Keith, man, is that when this kid, right, missed the extra point, if there was a Giants fan in the middle of the Sahara Desert, he would have shut off his TV like I shut off my TV, like 90% of the Giants fans shut off their TV, because we knew what was going to happen. The game was over because this guy is horrendous. He doesn't do any adjustments whatsoever. And somehow, people saying that, well, you know, he should come back because of Jackson Dart. And the biggest bull of crap that I hear all the time is, well, the players play hard for this guy. You know, there's no quitting. The locker room is good. That's a bunch of bull. You know that, Keith, man? Players play for themselves and for their families. They have to worry about having a job next year, not getting cut. You know, and when this guy gets fired, the players are going to quit football because this guy gets fired. What, they're going to go cry in a dark room? They're going to go on, man. I mean, this chapter is over. It's over.
Thank you for the call, Wilson. I will say this to you, Wilson, and I hope you're still listening even though I hung up the phone. Please forget, and I know you might not forget your entire life. That I watched that game. Giants fans didn't turn that game off. They knew that 1 point was hanging there, but they also knew that 1 point was hanging there when it was 13 and not 14. Please try to move off of the Week 7 loss. There's a bunch of more games. Brian Daboll's time is not done. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. He's got another year on this first 5-year contract. He is the one that handpicked the quarterback that you all love. This quarterback that, you know, everybody in the NFL that watches NFL football saying he's the difference. That kid's for real. Giants got a future. Hold on now. So, like, you get credit for that. You also get credit for, again, not being prepared in the kicking game. It is fireable. How many times do you I think that it has cost the Giants like 3 different games, maybe 4 that I can remember, where it's like the kicking situation isn't right. And I don't know. With Graham Gano, it really falls back on him. I said Graham Gano had to be the most sick out of everybody. Because he's like, well, damn, I could have, even hurt, I could have kicked those extra points. This game is on me. I thought Jude McAtamey would be good enough. No, not in the pressure of Mile High. So, you know, I know people want Brian Daboll gone. That record goes on his tombstone. You know what I'm saying? And like, the whole reason he's still here was because he didn't have the opportunity to draft and develop his own quarterback. Not only did he draft and develop his own quarterback, like he hit on the right guy. People wanted them to take Shedeur Sanders. People wanted him to wait till the next day to draft Jackson Dart, who might not have been there. Somebody might have taken him in those late last picks because they might have said, hey, we had a good grade on this guy. You know, if you watch the behind-the-scenes stuff, it wasn't Joe Shane. They're talking about rolling the dice. Brian Daboll was just giving a nod like, yeah, that's my guy. That's who I want. That's who we interviewed. That's who we talked to. We watched the film. The reports came out that Brian Daboll pushed to have the Giants take him at 3. And I understand that logic because it's like, why are we taking Abdul Carter when we just traded for Brian Burns and 2 years ago we drafted Kayvon? If we want another edge rusher, we don't have to get Abdul Carter. We could get an edge rusher with our second pick. Luckily, they were able to do both because Abdul Carter is a force as well. And as a rookie, like, he's been solid. And I think what you're getting out of Spider-Man Brian Burns, most people tell you he's getting freed up because they have to actually block Abdul Carter, Kayvon, Dexter Lawrence. Like, somebody comes free, and it's Brian Burns who's got the height, the length, the speed, the strength to get by his man one-on-one. There's not too many guys that can stop him one-on-one. But, yeah, you got to get off of the Broncos game. It sucks. Did you feel like, how come nobody's calling about the Saints game anymore? How come nobody's calling about the Dallas game anymore? They're similar. It's week 8. You're going to face the hated Philadelphia Eagles with the opportunity to sweep them for the first time since 2007. I just was talking about how there are kids that are listening right now. They weren't alive in 2007. They don't remember the Giants beating the Patriots and Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a long time. So I think if Brian Dable and Jackson Dart and Shane Bowen and Brian Burns and these guys are able to go down there in Philly and get a win, it'll make up some for the Broncos' loss. This team is not going to the playoffs. They're going to lose a bunch of more games just because they're not going to be better than the team that they're playing across. But they're going to be in every game because they finally have a quarterback and a running back and a couple running backs and an offense that they can call and scheme and find success because it's not Russell Wilson sitting back there. There's a quarterback that's extending plays, making something out of nothing, not taking sacks, scrambling out of pressure, and finding open wide receivers. You don't even have any really great wide receivers. Wan'Dale is good. We'll see what Slayton adds to, but without Malik Neighbors, who I did see Malik Neighbors didn't get his ACL surgery yet. That's another update from today, but supposedly that's common. They're waiting for the swelling to go down. All right, I got to go to another break. We will continue on the Giants. I have some more audio that I want to play. I want to hear from former Giant Saquon Barkley as he was asked about facing the Giants the first time. And I got to check with Justin Rock to see if we're able to get some other audio about Jackson Dart. Keith McPherson on the Fan. I've got 22 minutes left. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back.
The Nets entertain the Cavaliers. 7:30 tonight. The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Imagine a gentleman's club with over 200 gorgeous exotic dancers every week.
Hey, big boy.
From the people who make fantasies come true, Gallagher's 2000 in Long Island City is the place to be. Gallagher's 2000, a gentleman's club for today, gentlemen. Gallagher's 2000 features 2 floors, 3 stages, discounted drinks, VIP, champagne rooms, and dinner specials every night. Gallagher's 2000 offers complimentary lunch Thursdays and Fridays with any drink purchase.
Come on down, big boy.
Gallagher's 2000 is New York's largest upscale gentleman's club, and Gallagher's 2000's bachelor parties will blow you away. For their bachelor party specials, call 718-361-1348. Gallagher's 2000 is located at 4319 37th Street in Long Island City, Queens, just a half a block north of Queens Boulevard. Call 718-361-1348. Gallagher's 2000 is unlike any club in New York. Come tonight for the time of your life. Gallagher's 2000.
Let your imagination run wild.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
With over 90 years of combined legal experience representing the law enforcement community, Decolator Cohen & DePrisco, LLP, continues to strive to educate police officers of their civil rights to sue in line-of-duty accident cases. The 2025 Police Officers' Right to Sue newsletter can be viewed on policeofficersrighttosue.com and provides successful results in varying line-of-duty accident cases. These results include damages recovered from RMP accidents involving the City of New York and civilian motorists. station house defects, ricochet injuries from the range, private premises slip and falls, sidewalk slip and falls, construction defects, snow and ice cases, and injuries emanating from defective RMPs. In any LOD accident, it is important for the officer to take photographs of any defects, injuries, or damage. It is also essential to draft the line of duty report and detail the cause of the accident in the paperwork. Remember, there's a 90-day time limitation to file a claim against a municipality. If any law enforcement member has a question regarding a potential lawsuit, contact Decolator Cohen & DePrisco LLP at policeofficersrighttosue.com or call 1-800-901-1529.
Looking for the best waste removal on Long Island? Maggio Environmental is your partner in recycling for zero waste. From commercial recycling to full-scale construction projects, we handle it all. Lead reports, trash, and everything in between. With state-of-the-art recycling facilities and service within 24 hours, including convenient roll-off containers, we make waste removal simple, efficient, and eco-friendly. Maggio Environmental. From the ground up, we've got you covered. Call or visit MaggioEnvironmental.com today.
Hey, New Yorkers! Fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with autopay, mobile plus discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Real sports talk for real fans with real opinions. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Right back to it, not wasting any time because time is running out. It's funny, I'm in the YouTube chat, Keith McPherson on The Fan, and Darian was laughing in the chat like nobody cut that game off, and you know, the last caller, was Wilson said something about like somebody in the desert cut that game off knowing what was going to happen. I feel like, yeah, we all knew what was going to happen, but you don't turn the game off and just assume that, okay, 32-30, the Broncos are guaranteed to win. After you were feeling yourself for 2 hours. Like I said, I went out and watched that game at the bar, so nobody was cutting the TV off at the bar. But like I watched with Giants fans that were like, I don't know if they blinked. Like, the defense could have got a stop. The defense could have intercepted the ball. You know, they could have fumbled the ball. The Broncos could have missed the kick, but I know it's the NFL. It felt inevitable that, hey, they didn't make that extra point. There's the game winner. Honestly, even if he made the extra point, which we were talking through, because I'm always talking the game and scenarios. I'm like, this game's going to overtime. Didn't need overtime. 888-808-1019. And speaking of that, before we get back to the calls and play a little bit of audio here, NYG area on Twitter just posted an hour ago. One of the coaches who lasted long enough to reach 58 games, Brian Daboll has the worst record for the start of a New York Giants coaching career with a 20-37-1 record as of 2025. October 24, 2025. So, like, I always bring up that, like, you know, the records go on their tombstones. I think that's a Bill Parcells quote. He's got to live with that. You know, and Joe Shane as well. But, like, this is the turning point. How many nights did you hear myself and Big Mac over the years talk about they got to draft a quarterback? This isn't their, Daniel Jones is not their quarterback. You know, you don't bring in a guy whose calling card was he worked with Jalen Hurts. He worked with Josh Allen. He helped develop Josh Allen and then give him Daniel Jones. And then how many times did you hear me talk about, they never loved Daniel Jones. They didn't pick up his rookie option. They made him prove it. They brought in Tyrod Taylor, who knew their system, and they would tell the defense the plays when Daniel Jones was going to try to frustrate him. Like, they were never in Daniel Jones' camp, but once Daniel Jones leads them to the playoffs and wins a playoff game, you got to pay the guys. The NFL, you got to pay your quarterback. They have their guy. And I'm telling you, I hope John Mara is feeling okay. But, like, I have watched that video at least 5 times after the Eagles win, where Dable hands John Mara the ball, and John Mara says, like, all of the chemo and radiation and none of that, like, compares to the feeling that, you know, I get from this. Like, a win, getting the game ball, beating the Eagles in their building. So go beat the Eagles again for John Mara and try to forget the past, because the future is now with Jackson Dart. Kenny is in Brooklyn on the Fan. What's up, Kenny?
Hey, Keith, you're a former quarterback, right?
Yeah, state champion quarterback in high school, a backup in college, and just, you know, decent enough to get some scholarships and you know, make some plays in practice.
Okay. So you know a little bit about the quarterback position actually from play. I want your real, no BS assessment of Jackson Dart's passing ability so far. I am not impressed. He can run without question. He's got guts. But as far as a passer, I am not impressed with what he's done passing wise. I think he's gotten lucky on a couple of breaks with whether they have people have flags thrown because, you know, that they interfered with the receiver.
Yeah.
But he's not even close to blowing me away with his passing ability.
He can get there. The one thing that I knocked on, and it's not even a knock, but it's one thing that I said about him, like in the Saints game, and even every game, there's been some throws that he's underthrown where I'm like, they have to drill his mechanics. He's got to have his feet right. He's got to have his feet under him. He's got to be stepping into throws because he doesn't naturally have the cannon for an arm. He can make all the throws, but you need your feet. You need your legs. You need to put your whole body into the throw, get that ball in the air, and put it into the spot that only your receiver can get it.
Right, and this is what I want to talk about. People are so happy about winning finally, but they're not really being real and assessing. He obviously can run. He's got guts. He's tough. He finds a way to get it done with his feet. But arm-wise, as a quarterback, from a quarterback passing perspective, I'm not even close to impressed. He's gotten lucky.
He has gotten lucky. But I'll say this. He makes up what, he's not Justin Herbert. We watched Justin Herbert tonight. Justin Herbert's 6'5". He's got a cannon.
I agree. He makes it up with guts.
He makes it up with guts. He makes it up with playmaking. The reason that the offense looks different, like Russell Wilson probably has a stronger arm than him, but like Russell Wilson's a sitting duck. Dart is scrambling out and getting the green grass and finding open receivers and putting the ball there. But I just think that they need to drill his mechanics down so that like some of those passes that he threw in the Saints game, I'm like, he's throwing off his back foot. Yeah. He's not stepping into the ball. He's not stepping into the throw, rather.
He's not going to get away with this running. They're going to start clamping down on him. He's going to get hurt. He can't be running that much. I'm telling you, you can't keep living like this as a quarterback. He's not that big. And they're going to start scheming him, and they're going to stop him from running, and then he's going to have to beat him with his arm, and I'm worried about that.
The book will be out on him at some point. Thank you for the call, Kenny. That is a astute point as far as, he's left a little bit off of some of the throws, but there are other throws that he puts, like that throw that he's had a couple throws. There was a throw that he made to Wan'Dale Robinson I referenced a couple times. It was like, I say, oh, he's hooping. It was like he shot a 3. It was like the way that he put the ball and dropped the ball in. I was like, dime. Bellinger was wide open, but the way that he stepped up in the pocket and also with that pat in the ball is going to get you too, especially when defenses start to watch you enough. Like some of these DBs are good enough to sit on routes and then break as soon as they see you go, and then pat the ball and he pats the ball as he brings it up to throw it. But right now, nobody has really faced him or seen him. And, even what Nick Bonito said is, hey, he's better than what we saw on film. We were able to get the audio from the Let's Go podcast. Jim Gray has a podcast called the Let's Go podcast. And I just came across this on Instagram. Shout out to Justin Rock. He was able to clip it for us. And Matthew Stafford, who the Giants were in hot pursuit of in the offseason, right? he potentially was going to come over here if he didn't go back to the Rams. Matthew Stafford is interviewed by Jim Gray, and he's asked about, the top young quarterbacks in the NFL. And it's interesting, too, because Matthew Stafford, so there was a rumor that the Rams might have wanted Jackson Dart, and Matthew Stafford would have been a great guy for Dart to learn from. Matthew Stafford does have a cannon and does have the mechanics, but Jim Gray specifically asked him, who are your top 3 quarterbacks with, I think, less than 3 years he said there's 12 quarterbacks with less than 3 years of experience. Who stands out to you, Fleegs? Let's play that clip from the Let's Go podcast with Matthew Stafford, giving you his list. And he starts, obviously, with Jackson Dart.
We're talking about these young quarterbacks. There's 12 quarterbacks starting in the league right now that have less than 3 years experience. Who stands out to you right now as being the guys that if you're another team, you've got to be really concerned about?
It's really early, but Jackson Dart has definitely given the Giants a spark that they didn't have before. Whether that's sustainable and it's really efficient, maybe not at the moment, but he's young. You got to give him time. But, man, he's a dangerous guy in the backfield. I think Drake May's playing as good a football as any of the young quarterbacks out there. He's doing a great job of getting his guys in the end zone. I think he had just a handful of incompletions the other day. He might have set the Patriots record for completion percentage in a game. He's playing at a really high level. And then when healthy, I still am a big fan of C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels. Jaden's having a tough time right now. He's got some nicks and bruises that have crept up on him this year. But both those guys, I think, are really talented passers that can do things with their feet as well.
So he's in the company of Drake May, who's having a great year. I know they got rid of his coach, but whatever. Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is banged up. C.J. Stroud, who had a great rookie year and sophomore year, he's kind of taking a step back now. He's in the conversation with the top young quarterbacks in the league, and I just think we gotta just keep watching. What's he got? 4 games? We got to keep watching him, and this is a huge challenge. I'm telling you, the Eagles' defense is going to look different with Jalen Carter up front and Quinyon Mitchell out there at corner. Let's see if Dart is able to go into hostile territory and succeed. He even talked about there was a clip on Giants videos, as the last caller was talking about how the defenses are going to start to get a beat on him. Dart said, and let me go get the quote so I don't do a verbatim. I'll read it out loud. A priority of Jackson Dart as a quarterback is for opposing defenses to never have the book on him. He said, playmakers find ways to make plays. That's been my mindset. He knows that people are going to start picking up on his habits and stuff like that. But when you have the ability to throw in the pocket, to step up in the pocket and make a throw, to step up in the pocket and run, that's also what I've been really impressed with. His feel for all right, I got to step up and make a throw, keep my eyes downfield. Rookies don't do that. They get afraid. They get scared of getting hit. He's not afraid of getting hit, and his field vision is advanced for somebody that's only played 4 games in the NFL. King George is in the Bronx. What's up, King George? You're back on the Fan.
Live long and prosper. Everything they say about your show is true. You change the rules and do what you want to do. You have charisma and talent, and that's damn right. And you make it a party on your show every night.
Hey. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, you earned it. I don't blow smoke where it's not earned. And I don't like Jackson Dart's style because I've seen it happen to Randall Cunningham, Cam Newton. It's happening to Josh Allen, and it's happening to Jackson, where they take too much punishment. They run into runners. They try to run people over rather than slide.
I think he needs to chill with that. And I was saying that about him in the preseason. But in the preseason, King George, I said, he's not the starter. He's a third-string quarterback. So he's not going to slide until he's a starter. He's the starter now. He's still not sliding. John Gruden told him, hey, are you nuts? Are you crazy? Get out of bounds or get down. He has to learn. He has to learn to not try and take any of these guys on. But he also is smart. He knows in this league they're going to protect him. Like when he got that rough in the passer call last week, I'm like, he is already a darling in their eyes. The referees are going to protect him. You cannot hit him late. So he's going to take some liberties.
Yeah, well, my dad said a soft head makes a hard behind. And when are you, Zoo, and I going to get together?
I don't even know where Zoo is, and I've been meaning to text him, and I know I said that. I'm down. I don't know when. I think Paul took your number down. I got to talk to Zoo. It would be nice if Zoo and I worked a shift, and maybe before or after Zoo produced my show, we could pull up to Cats. We'll figure it out.
Or Heidelberg.
Where's that?
Heidelberg. It's in the 80s on 2nd Avenue.
That's another spot you'd like to go?
Either one, because you got to try Frank's with. You can eat what you want, but the caveat is you got to try Frank's with potato salad on it.
Copy. We'll get there, and we'll get there before it gets too cold. Appreciate you, King. All right, now I want to go to a clip from Saquon Barkley. You remember Saquon Barkley dropped the documentary titled Saquon. I said I wasn't going to watch a second of it. I haven't. But it was on Amazon Prime, the same platform that the game was on, and it seemed like Saquon was dropping that documentary and going to go out and drop 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on the Giants. That's not what happened at all. So Saquon got humbled that night. The Eagles got humbled that night. And Giants Videos, SNY Giants on Twitter, was able to pull a video of, them asking Saquon what he learned about facing the Giants the first time this year with the Eagles.
Saquon, what did you learn? I know you were with the Giants a long time, but it's a different version of the Giants. What did you learn about the 2025 Giants in that meeting?
That's what happens when you go against a team who got juice and playing with swagger and confidence, and defense that we already know that they were really good, and offense. They put in a young quarterback who's super talented, and with Scatterbo and Tracy, great backs back there, and Singh and Devin. When you go against a team that has that passion, that fire, you can get your butt handed to you. You can get it handed to you. That's the truth. So that's what I learned about them. But also know the type of coach Daves is and the guys that are over there. So it's gonna be a tough challenge.
They got the juice, man. That's a word that's been thrown around a lot. Dart, Scatterbo, they got the juice. The Giants got the juice now. Let's see if they've got the juice on Sunday against an Eagles team that's going to want some get back. Carlos and Clifton, my last call of the night. You're in there, Los.
Hey, I gotta clap back on some of these Giant fans talking about that this kid is doing, stuff that he's not supposed to be doing. I don't know what they're watching, but I know he had a couple of throws, and like that Saints game, he's trying to win it. He's throwing it downfield. Even in the last game, he's trying to throw it downfield because he's trying to score at the end of the game or whatever. But have you seen some of his throws, like on the run? He's in the pocket. He's not trying to run downfield first. And even that Wan'Dale Robinson lucky touchdown, that was in the breadbasket. Wan'Dale dropped that. It hit off both his hands.
Yeah.
He even admitted it. What we need to understand, like a lot of the guys need to understand, is that we got one unsung hero on this team. His name is Andrew Thomas. Ever since he got back, he started flying. Our line is playing
because he's putting
great.
the clamps on him. Right? That clip of him just straight up grabbing Nick Bonito and freezing him, like, underrated. Honestly, and it's crazy to think that Andrew Thomas is underrated. Thanks for the call, Carlos. But it's underrated the effect that he's had since he's been back at left tackle. He's got the juice. Let's make sure we mention his name with Dart and Scatterbo and Brian Burns. All right, I'm about to get out the way. I got to go home and go to sleep so that I can wake up and not be sick and do my little Week 8 wrap and then come here and do a Football Friday after the Knicks play. C-Mac's coming up next. If you're on YouTube, stay in the chat. We'll keep rocking. Good night.
Sports Radio 101.9 FM.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
There's something about this team that is frustrating because they are so good, yet they don't know how to win.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
At City Harvest, we're on the road every day rescuing millions of pounds of nutritious food for New Yorkers in need, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Hey! My dad is bringing home the best birthday cake ever!
It was my 5th birthday, and my dad was bringing home the cake.
Should have been here a half hour ago.
The cake never made it, and neither did my dad.
911, what's your emergency?
That was the day a drunk driver killed my dad. Daddy? Impaired drivers take lives. Think.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. Aired in cooperation with the New York State Broadcasters Association.
Injured? Don't be a whiner. Call me, Attorney Mark Miner. I'm Mark Miner, and I have over 30 years of experience handling personal injury cases. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. You can trust that the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, & Miner will treat you with respect and fight for your rights. Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. Our goal is to transform your pain into payment. If there is no recovery, there is no fee. We handle all type of accident cases and value the opportunity to help you. The sooner you call, the better. If you are injured, call 1-800-LAW-LINE so we can discuss how to transform your pain into payment. Don't be a whiner. Call Zalman, Schnurman, & Miner at 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner, personal injury attorneys.
Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That's 1-800-LAW-LINE.
If you're tired of dealing with neck pain, backaches, even sciatica, stop messing around and go see my guys at Samwell Institute for Pain Management. That's Dr. Shah, Dr. Koh, and Dr. Siddhapara. They've got offices in Colonia, Inglewood, and Livingston, and here's the best part. They focus on non-opioid, minimally invasive, non-surgical treatments. Real solutions that can actually get you back to feeling like yourself again. Don't take my word for it. Thousands of 5-star reviews trust Samwell. So turn to Samwell Pain for relief. Go to SamwellPain.com. That's SamwellPain.com.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Stations.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 2 o'clock. I'm Justin Rock. This report is brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results.
chefiq.com. Earth-shattering news in the NBA. Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups, Heat guard Terry Rozier, two of over 30 people arrested as part of a major federal sports betting and gambling scandal. Both Billups and Rozier, as well as former player and coach Damon Jones, tied to separate cases. Billups and Jones involved in mafia-rigged poker games. Rozier charged with providing non-public information to bettors. Both Billups and Rozier placed on indefinite leave by the NBA. Portland named assistant Tiago Splitter as acting head coach. Knicks and Celtics clash later today at the Garden. Mitchell Robinson out with an ankle injury. Karl Anthony Towns and Josh Hart, both questionable. NHL, the Rangers erased 2-goal deficits twice, but Taylor Radish's first career hat trick, not enough. The Sharks pick up their first win of the year, 6-5 in OT over the Blue Shirts. Mika Zibanejad on MSG postgame.
Not good enough overall. We have a chance to win in overtime. We don't, but we put ourselves in a bad spot, I think, after the first, and just not good enough.
The Islanders, a pair of goals from Emil Heineman. Anders Lee with 3 assists. Isles crushed the Red Wings 7-2. NFL, the Jets, winless and banged up. Sauce Gardner did not practice with a concussion. Terod Taylor, Brees Hall limited. The Giants, Darius Slayton limited with a hamstring issue. Kicker Graham Gano designated to return from IR. It's 47 degrees and clear in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Justin Rock.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! 202 on the Fan. McMonigle here with you on a Football Friday. Taking your calls for the next 3 hours, 888-808-1019. We got Fleegs on the other side. And we got a lot to get to on this Football Friday. We're going to start with the football. We will get to, obviously, the huge national shaking foundation of sports itself story at the gambling issue inside the NBA. We will get to it. We'll get to the Rangers can't win at home. But we got to start with a Football Friday in the New York Giants. It's still Football Friday. And this is a huge week for the New York Giants. A big week for the quarterback, who I just heard, Keith play more from Matthew Stafford as he's being praised and having his, let's be honest, his butt kissed all over the NFL. All over the NFL. Linebackers and edge rushers he's played against, quarterbacks, Hall of Fame level quarterbacks, Super Bowl champion quarterbacks, defensive coordinators he's going against here for the second time in 2 weeks. Everybody high on Jackson Dart. Everybody noticing how he's uplifted this team. This is the biggest, toughest spot for Jackson Dart in many ways. It's the coach, it's the quarterback. I haven't shut up, as many of you like to point out, about the coach and the quarterback relationship. And obviously, in many ways, this game against Philadelphia, going on the road, trying to accomplish a feat that I believe they haven't done since 2007, and beat the Eagles twice in a year. That's how, even in championship seasons, they don't do this for the most part. It's been a long time since they've had dominance over the Philadelphia Eagles. And you are coming off a brutal loss where not only did you give up 19-point lead, not only did you give up 33 points in the fourth quarter, not only was it a disastrous loss to your chances to compete for a division, get back into a playoff position, everything along that, it's also a game where everything is questioned. The defensive coordinator is questioned. Obviously, the head coach is questioned. Even the quarterback, who, again, everyone's kissing his ass a little bit, but that brutal interception, which was the beginning and the turning point of losing a game that you can't lose. That 1,652 people games of have back-to-back have not lost. You don't lose a game 1,652 times in a row up 18 points with 6 minutes left. You win consecutively. That's the word I was looking for. And now they have to turn this right around. The coach has to get them up for this game. The coach has to be able to tell Dexter Lawrence, who is talking about it all week, that it's difficult to get over that game. A defensive coordinator in a defense, right, that's going to be missing some key figures. Still guys who haven't practiced. Still missing defensive backs against an Eagles defense that kind of found something in the passing game last week. Burns, their best pass rusher, still hasn't practiced. And this coach who's under fire, right, who him and this quarterback are a tandem, but the fan base still thinks he's lousy. You still have to wonder whether or not how many games he has to win. Just lost a game that coaches don't lose. And the Giants have been experts at it. Let's be fair. As much as you can come away with different feelings about the game, it's okay for us to talk about it. It's okay for, the fans to feel a certain way. But ultimately, let's be honest. The Giants, under Brian Daboll and before Brian Daboll, the Giants have had a tendency of not being able to close out games, not knowing how to win. And yes, that comes with a rookie quarterback sometimes. But this coach has been here for years. And this quarterback is the toast of the town, and yet they're finding ways to blow games they can't lose. They found a way to lose a Cowboy game they can't lose. They found a way to lose a Bronco game they can't lose. They found a way to lose a game against the New Orleans Saints, who aren't very good, by turning the ball over 5 consecutive series. And this coach has to get this team who felt something from this quarterback, right? I've talked about the special. We've talked about how he's uplifted the team. You hear Sean Payton say, well, they found a spark. You just heard in the clip that Keith played from Matthew Stafford. They've really found something, and he's given them a boost. Like boost and start and all the different things, the way we've talked about it all week, the way he's able to elevate this team, both offensively and defensively, and how different they've looked, and the energy that him and Scatterboo brought, and how it was really on the forefront the last time we saw them play this Eagles team. This is a spot where that special that I keep referring to, the ability to uplift the team that we haven't seen in forever, since Eli Manning days, like that ability is on the line and under question more than we've had it so far. This is going to be the first time he's going to play a defense that has seen him. This is going to be the first time that this new offense is going up against a defensive group and a Super Bowl champion that you embarrassed the last time, and that has already seen you, has tape on you, was on the field there, and knew exactly how you handled things, have gone up against this run game, have seen Jackson Dart operate. And he has to get this team up, him and the coach, that are the future. He's the future. Him and the relationship of the coach, we're going to find out if that's the future. They have to be uplifters to a higher level than they have before. This is a game where I know I like to yap about the coach, right? And he needs to come back, the relationship with the quarterback. I don't care about anything prior to this. Brian Daboll's done a great job. He handpicked this kid. Look what the kid's doing. He drafted him. He's the one who wanted him playing before anybody else wanted him playing. Some of us inside the organization, there was a battle between it. He was the one who stomped the table. He was the one who pounded the table to make sure he got drafted. He's the one who wanted to start him against the Chargers. He's the one who him and this kid have changed everything. Well, this is the first real test of where this is now about coaching. This is clearly about adjustments going up against the Eagles team you just went against 2 weeks ago. This is about finding a way to get a group that has, unfortunately, most of them, experienced losses. Like last week against Denver. All right, maybe not as crazy, maybe not as, 19 points in the fourth quarter, but they just experienced it against the Cowboys in a gut-wrenching loss. They have more last-second field goals kicked against them than any team in the NFL over the last 5 years. Like, they have had this happen to them before. This is a group tired of losing. This is a group that it felt like with this new quarterback and new offense, there was some sort of level of expectation that it wouldn't happen. And now it got thrown into their face in a incredible way that it's hard to get over. And so to me, as much as I like to talk about the coach and quarterback relationship, and that's why Brian Daboll should be back, it's important to see what he gets out of this group. It's important what kind of effort they're going to give you coming off that game in Denver, going back on the road to a Super Bowl level opponent, an opponent that knows them well, an opponent they haven't lost to twice, they haven't beat twice in a season in damn near 2 decades, and an opponent that scored some points through the passing game last week against Minnesota, kind of found themselves a little bit, and is looking to exact a little bit of revenge and has already been on the field. This is a game about adjustments. This is a game about is it more than just we're going to throw some different things at you. You haven't seen Jackson Dart yet. This offense looks different than it did clearly last year at any point. It looks different than it did with Russell Wilson. Jackson Dart brings a new element. We're able to roll in some different things. Well, now they've seen all that. And you probably put your best offensive performance yet against them 2 weeks ago. Can you duplicate it? Can this team come out and give the Eagles a game? Now, they're 7.5-point underdogs. I don't know the expectation of winning this game. And we talked about it going into the Denver game, these next 2 weeks leading up. And this week, unfortunately, is not the week we all wanted. It's not the week of beating Denver and going 3-4 and being one game under 500. At 3-4, and heading into play an Eagles team where you could thrust yourself right into the conversation about the division. It's a different week. It's a week trying to figure out what kind of team you are and what kind of fight you have in you. And can this defense recover from giving up 33 points in the fourth quarter? Can this defense recover from all the questions about their unhappiness about the play call or the defensive coordinator? Or we watch, guys who are supposed to be important to this team, like Banks, first-round picks, end up just being terrible in the game. And guys, they're still going to have to rely on as injuries are still there for them. Because I'll tell you, my opinion, and I've talked about this, the coach, the quarterback, if they come out and get drubbed, if they come out and Jackson Dart's not as effective because he's playing against the team who's seen him and the Giants coaching staff is unable to make adjustments, if this team off of that loss is unable to get that inspiration that it found with this young quarterback and they fall flat in a game against Philadelphia, if they go into Philly and just get their ass kicked from the jump, well, now you start to have that conversation for me where it changes your thought about the coach. It changes your thought about the ability to make adjustments. It wouldn't necessarily change my thought about the quarterback. I think Jackson Dart has proved enough and shown enough that he's clearly got ability to play in this league. But that relationship that I deem so important starts to take hits if they can't come back from games like that. His ability to lift the team is part of what makes him special. He needs to do it this week. This is the toughest test yet. I know we keep having them because the schedule was tough. And bringing in Philadelphia home felt like a challenge. Certainly going on the road against one of the best defenses in the league felt like a big-time challenge. And even though they lost it, in many ways, they rose to the challenge. In many ways, they were the better team that game. In many ways, for the first 3 quarters, they took it to the Broncos. In many ways, for the first 3 quarters. And yeah, you got to play a full game. You can't erase what happened in the fourth quarter. I'm not trying to. But I'm just saying, in many ways, the defense played one of its best games. And we could talk about, like I saw reports that you can blame the coach for the defense being out of gas at the end of the game, especially in Mile High. Camp was light work. He didn't push these guys. Like, all of these questions, when you start losing games the way they lost against Denver, everything, despite the quarterback play, despite the fact that he's kind of taken the league by storm, despite the fact the coach is linked to him, you lose games like that, that's when the questions start to come. That's when you have to prove yourself in an NFL that feels like you have to prove yourself on a week-to-week basis. And yeah, this now becomes a transitional season once you bring in the rookie quarterback. And for a fleeting moment, we thought maybe it could be something different. And if they go win this football game, maybe we convince ourselves that it is something different. And we start to have that conversation again about throwing themselves in the mix as Daniels is hurt in Washington, as the Cowboys have a tough game this week. Maybe we do start to throw ourselves into that conversation as Minnesota's kind of taking themselves out of being a playoff team. Maybe we do. But right now, it's still about developing this quarterback. It's about the coach-quarterback relationship. And for a coach that's under fire, who half, if not more, of the fan base wants jettisoned, everyone wants him out, he's got to show that he can do something that's very difficult in this league. Get a team up. Get a team that's traditionally lost here. Get a team that over the last 2 years with this head coach has fallen apart and had miserable, ugly losing seasons. guys who have been here, and I know Scadaboo and Dart like to talk about how they weren't here, that they're not part of the failures of the previous couple of years, that they aren't part of the offensive woes inside the red zone, that they're ushering in a new era of Giant football, that they're ushering this new era of, it's not about what we did before, it's about the future, and these two young kids are bringing the enthusiasm, and it's changed in so many ways. Yes, the first 3 quarters in Denver changed a lot and looked a lot different than what we've seen from the Giants, but that fourth quarter and blowing games late and finding ways to lose, that has been a Giants issue dating back many years, and it came up even in this new regime. So if Jackson Dart wants to talk about how things are changing, if Scadaboo wants to talk about how things are changing, and he wants to go to Knicks games, and he wants to be on the cover of the newspaper flexing, if he wants to be the toast of the town, if they want to change everything around this team, the next step is to show up in Philadelphia and play a damn good football game and continue to do what you do offensively and continue to be successful in the red zone and continue to have drives down the field and continue to get off to good starts offensively with first touchdown drives 3 out of these 4 games. And continue to show that not only are you a quarterback with tools who can make plays with a wide receiving core that isn't any good, and I know we spent a lot of time on yesterday, the actual talent around Jackson Dart, but prove more than you're just the quarterback who has some tools, who's developing, who can become special in this league. And try and show us what we've all kind of seen, that it's not only the tools, that it's not only the ability to run and the ability to throw, but it's more about the instant impact that he's had on the team. Because there are quarterbacks who have immense talent that don't impact their team. And what we've seen from the jump of this new Jackson Dart era is not only is he successful, not only does he score touchdowns, not only does he put drives together, and not only did this offense immediately click with whatever he's doing, the play calling of Kafka, the scheme of this head coach, it instantly clicked the minute he took over. He also rose, he took the entire offensive line, he took this wide receiving core, and he took this run game, and he even took the defense to a new level, and the entire team played in a different fashion. We could argue that their hopes of making a real competitive run at a playoff spot ended in Denver in the fourth quarter. What can't end in the fourth quarter in Denver is the promise we've seen and the ability to raise the game and the Giants to play like a different football team and to not look like the joke of the NFL that when you welcome into your building, as Denver did, you schedule all the honors. And you have your former greats there. And you have the dedications into the Ring of Honor. That's what you do when the Giants come to town. That's what you do. That's what Denver did. And that's what you do typically when the New York Football Giants come to town. That still needs to change. No matter what the standings say, no matter how many wins are in their back pocket, no matter what the outlook for the rest of the year is, this team has to continue to show that they are a fight when they show up in your building. That this isn't what it used to be, that they're going to punch you in the mouth, they're going to run the football down your throat, and they've got a quarterback who can make plays down the field, can make plays with his legs, who's impossible to bring down, who has great pocket awareness, and who is going to elevate the entire team around him. I am still looking for that win, loss, or tie against Philadelphia come this Sunday. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm looking at the quarterback and the coach. Can you uplift this team? And for the coach, can you get them off the deck after what had to be a crushing loss out in Denver? 888-808-1019. As I said, we will get to the gambling story and how it impacts the NBA moving forward, how it impacts, us, how it impacts this gambling world that we've all, in the last handful of years, become accustomed to, and most of us have become a part of. It's a Football Friday. We do picks. This is what we are. And the shocking nature, and yet the unshocking nature of a professional athlete who makes the money that Terry Rozier makes, or a coach who had the legacy and the money but the legacy that he put on the line for a poker game, and how it's intertwined with the mafia. It is just, it broke early yesterday morning, just as I was leaving, to go home. The morning show had it, and it's just one of those stories that as it got rolling all day and the different elements to it, and then, you're reading the complaints, and even Chauncey Billups is a part of possibly, they call him conspirator number 8, and he's, he played the years that Billups played. He coached the year that Billups coached. He's given information about tanking and whether or not they're going to play some guys and giving early information. Well, where do these feel like not necessarily one-offs? Because I don't think anyone would think they're one-offs, but is this enough to make you feel like this cuts to the core of whether or not the sport is on the level? That's really the question, because that's where we lie here. Are the games legit and on the level, or are they not? And does what happened yesterday and what we will continue to hear unfold throughout the weeks here, does that make you question whether or not the sport is on the level? Did it take it to that height just giving information about injuries, or one player taking himself out of a game and letting people know about it? Is this any worse than the Donaghy referee gambling scandal? Does it impact it that now sports betting is legal? These are all questions we're going to be debating back and forth with for a while now after the shocking nature of what we found out yesterday. 888-808-1019. So we start with a football Friday as usual. We'll talk Giants. Obviously, we'll talk Jets. Maybe by tomorrow's Saturday show, I'll find out who the quarterback is for the Jets and we can actually break down the game. That'd be nice. But we'll talk Jets as they play a game that they've got. Again, is Joe Flacco going to beat them? Is Joe Flacco going to put up back-to-back weeks like this? 888-808-1019. So open it up to your Giant calls, your Jet calls. We'll get into the gambling as we go. The Rangers with another brutal loss at home. Can't find a way to win at MSG. We'll get to it all as we take you all the way to 5 o'clock in the warm-up show. McMonigle here with you on The Fan. Be right back.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
The tush push is wide open, and we can all see that, the offensive linemen are pre-snap moving, and it should be a penalty every single time.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Imagine a gentleman's club with over 200 gorgeous exotic dancers every week.
Hey, big boy.
From the people who make fantasies come true, Gallagher's 2000 in Long Island City is the place to be. Gallagher's 2000, a gentleman's club for today, gentlemen. Gallagher's 2000 features 2 floors, 3 stages, discounted drinks, VIP, champagne rooms, and dinner specials every night. Gallagher's 2000 offers complimentary lunch Thursdays and Fridays with any drink purchase.
Come on down, big boy.
Gallagher's 2000 is New York's largest upscale gentleman's club, and Gallagher's 2000's bachelor parties will blow you away. For their bachelor party specials, call 718-361-1348. Gallagher's 2000 is located at 4319 37th Street in Long Island City, Queens, just a half a block north of Queens Boulevard. Call 718-361-1348. Gallagher's 2000 is unlike any club in New York. Come tonight for the time of your life. Gallagher's 2000.
Let your imagination run wild.
With over 90 years of combined legal experience representing the law enforcement community, Decalator Cohen & DePrisco, LLP, continues to strive to educate police officers of their civil rights to sue in line-of-duty accident cases. The 2025 Police Officers' Right to Sue newsletter can be viewed on policeofficersrighttosue.com and provides successful results in varying line-of-duty accident cases. These results include damages recovered from RMP accidents involving the City of New York and civilian motorists, station house defects, ricochet injuries from the range, private premises slip and falls, sidewalk slip and falls, construction defects, snow and ice cases, and injuries emanating from defective RMPs. In any LOD accident, it is important for the officer to take photographs of any defects, injuries, or damage. It is also essential to draft the line of duty report and detail the cause of the accident in the paperwork. Remember, there's a 90-day time limitation to file a claim against a municipality. If any law enforcement member has a question regarding a potential lawsuit, contact Decolator Cohen and DePrisco LLP at policeofficersrighttosue.com or call 1-800-901-1529.
Last month, my business cash flow got tight. Sales were slow, invoices were late, and payroll was coming fast. My business is everything, and people rely on me. I can't let them down. I applied online at lendseek.com and had business funding in 24 hours.
Business moves fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Whether it's lines of credit, term loans, working capital funding, or revenue-based financing, LendSeek is open for business. Apply now at lendseek.com.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk New York sports on WFAN 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
All right, 2:27. McMonigle here with you on the Fan, 888-808-1019. You can listen to us there. You can also catch us live on the YouTube stream. Just go to WFAN. Keith and I, the overnight YouTube live stream. You can join the chat. I'm already being asked about the visor. If you're not listening, if you're not watching and only listening, pardon me for a second, but let me just explain the visor. I love visors. I made visors cool in the late 90s, okay? I wasn't the first person to wear a visor, but I was the one who made it cool. I'm telling you right now, I had visors that matched my sneakers. I had, at one point or another, I probably had 25 to 30 different visors when I was in high school. Loved visors. Well, I would do my hair, have the visor on. Big visor guy. This came up. We talked a lot about this when I was with Craig, when I was Big Mac on the Craig and Evan show, and so I've talked about visors and stuff. The visor I'm wearing right now is brand new. Today's the first day I got it. It's the GOAT. It's like a baseball company. They actually have like a section in Dick's. It's like a baseball brand that has apparel that my kids love. There's another one too. I forget the name of it. I think Jazz just became like an ambassador of it, an endorsement of it. It's like, the ice cream shorts. Like a lot of baseball's become very colorful. I also love baseball gloves, and I if I can, I try and buy a baseball glove every other year. I break it in during the beginning of the season. I love baseball gloves. I love Rollins, Heart of the Hide. I buy a lot of them. You look at baseball gloves now, go to Rollins.com and look at all the baseball gloves. They are purple and neon pink and blue. Like, it's become very colorful. And there's this company, I forget the name of it now, Baseball USA, I want to say something like that. And they have a lot of, everything is like ice cream cones and sprinkles, and it's pink and it's like light blue. And the kids are obsessed with it. They all love it and have it. My entire son's Little League teams all wear it and everything. And there's this other company, the GOAT. And so they were online with my wife going through some things, getting a couple shirts or whatever. And they saw the visor and they insisted on getting it and told me I should wear it on the on the show for the stream and for the videos that they put out of my, 2 up-close videos that they put out. At least now I have the visor. So that's why I'm wearing the visor. I love visors. I don't typically wear them all that much anymore, but back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was rocking the visor every day at high school. I had visors to match my shoes and my outfits. I was big into the visors, man. Big into the visors, and they're underrated. They're awesome. The problem with this one right now is I have been considering growing my hair out. And I did once, like as I was starting at WFAN. It had to be 2008, maybe 2009. I grew my hair out, and I had it down to like past my jawline a little bit. I was having to blow dry it and everything, and that was like the end of it. I didn't want to do it anymore. So I had it for a brief time. I had my hair down like pretty long. And I've been debating doing it again just to give other people more reasons to mock me. But I'm probably going to get a cut. But the hair is so long that the hat slides right off because there's so much hair on the sides. It's very sliding right off. So there you go. You ask questions on the chat, I will answer them live on the show. 888-808-1019. I do love visors. And obviously, listen, we'll get to everything with the Billups and Rozier story. I mean, it's shocking, and yet, like, it's not overly surprising, but it's like we always just assumed that, these guys make too much money. Like, that's the initial thought when it happens, and you're like, this guy is taking himself out of games, faking injuries, and giving that information, then having the proceeds, like, getting delivered to his house or apartment or his hotel room and divvying up the money. Like, he just signed a 4-year, $96 million deal. He's made over $160 million in his career, and for a couple $100,000, he's risking all of that. And, it's crazy. And the one thing I'll say, too, is because so many people now are coming out and talking about the dangers of gambling, and of course they exist. But they've always existed. Like, this isn't necessarily new. And it's almost the benefit of having it legalized is that it's helping catch. Like, if they were doing this through some offshore account illegally, I don't know if this would have been caught. This all starts because they recognized a large amount of bets placed on Rozier's unders. We saw that this is what's happened in baseball. Large amounts of money being bet on, first pitch ball. Like, the legalized gambling is, you could argue, helping get rid of this in the game. Like, I don't think this generates or has gotten any worse. And maybe I'm being naive, and maybe now guys just have access to it easier, so they're taking advantage of it. But, gambling has been around for forever. This isn't new just because it's become legal and you have it on your cell phone on an app. But, we all believe this should be the end of, like, if they, can prove this is factual, this is it. I mean, you can't continue to be a part of the league. They have to handle this as a band. But I look at it and I'm like, especially the one, like, yeah, Rozier took himself out of the game and faked an injury. I mean, is it point shaving? Is the game on the level because he decided to take himself out of the game? But, like, there's one with the Chauncey Billups, if you read the indictment, where he said he gave advanced knowledge about a strategy they were going to have for the game. Like, that doesn't necessarily, is that, like, they were going to do that whether Billups gave the advice or not. Like, all that one is it's benefiting a certain number of people to make more money. I don't know if it necessarily makes me feel like the game isn't on the level. Does this shake me to my core about how I feel about the competitive balance and nature of sports in general? I don't think it does. I don't think I'm going to have any problem continuing what I'm doing and, losing the minimal amounts of money I'm willing to risk every weekend or whatever. Like, I don't look at games now in the NBA and in the back of my mind question whether or not this is legit or if I'm being cheated or if what I'm watching is scripted or like what I'm watching is at the whim of every player's decision to possibly, try and make an extra $100,000 real quick. Like I'm not going to view it like that off of this. Like I'm going to have a tough time just assuming now that this is everyone. And I know that's the thought process because when it happens to one, you assume it's more, and it probably is more. Is it to the level where it really shakes the sport to its core? I don't know. I guess we'll find out as it continues to be flushed out here. But it's a crazy story. And then you get involved in the poker game and the mafia, and that, It's really like that part of the story too. Like Billups becomes the face of it, but it's a mafia-run poker game. I mean, he's just recruiting people to go play in it, and I'm sure that his angle. I shouldn't say his angle. He's going to tell us, and he's innocent until proven guilty, that he was, for a fee, directing people to what he suspected was a legitimate poker game. I would imagine, but. The other thing, too, is everyone seems to now want to throw the Ohtani thing in there like that clearly now, like if, like this stamps somehow that Ohtani's thing was false or that obviously Ohtani had more to do with his gambling scandal and the idea that he was released is ridiculous. And the actual investigations that both the NBA and MLB do, like now it's Rozier was investigated and there was no wrongdoing found by the NBA, or not enough at least, to suspend him or take any further action. Like, I get it, but the NBA, and I always felt this, these teams, yes, you want to do an investigation. This is the paramount issue of their sport, but they're not. They don't have the same compelling, nature that the FBI has or a police department has to make people talk. And I don't know if they should. Like, it's the same thing. I remember the Alex Rodriguez thing, when they were able to get Alex Rodriguez. And there was talks of Alex Rodriguez, paying for stolen information they had or whatever. And then they were trying to buy it back. And, Rob Manfred, Major League Baseball, exchanging money at a Denny's to get things like, and it's like, is that really what MLB should be doing? To get a steroid cheat? I know that's a little bit different, but to get like a steroid player, should they be buying stolen information under the table at a Denny's? Is that really just to get them? Like, is that who they should be? And then, like, so is like the NBA doesn't have the same ability to figure these things out or to do an investigation that the FBI does. So, like, I know we're all going to kill the NBA, and I'm sure they have questions to answer on why he was found not guilty if they have this information that he literally was telling people, I'm coming out of the game. But, like, how much are we going to hold the NBA's feet to the fire over that? I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. And then as far as the MLB investigation to Ohtani, the FBI looked into that. Like, the FBI cleared Ohtani of any wrongdoing. Why would they be willing... And if it's clearly this spectacle that the FBI wants to go be a part of and have Chauncey Billups and have Rozier and have these names and have the press conferences, why wouldn't they want to bring down Ohtani if they had evidence that he could? Like, everyone's now running to the idea, Ohtani, like, he was investigated. But that's what's going to happen now. We're going to question whether or not gambling and the connection between all these draft sites and these leagues, should we eradicate that? Is that what the downfall of this is? Is this the beginning of this? Is this just Pandora's box that we're all going to find out the whole institution that sports are propped up on and are going to come crumbling down? I don't know. I don't know if it's all that, but it's remarkable that what we figured, because if you watch like 8 Men Out, for example, right? And I know that's a long time ago, and we've seen college kids. And by the way, the college kids were just, NCAA just came out with a law, like I think a ruling like yesterday or the day before, that college athletes are now allowed to bet on professional sports. But We've seen point shaving inside college basketball, kids who don't have money. You would have never suspected. I heard Gio say it as I was listening this morning, and he's right. You would have never suspected someone who makes $100 million in their career would risk that type, risk their career, their legacies for this kind of quick money. And, Class A might not make $100 million like Rozier did, but Class A and some of the pitchers we saw in Major League Baseball, they make plenty of money to be doing this. You watch, like I said, 8 Men Out, and it's guys who literally cannot feed their families, who were lied to and denied bonuses and run by a cheap owner and literally had to have jobs outside of the game like a long time ago. That was a fear. I would have thought the money is too great in sports for this to be an issue, but apparently not, and that was a naive thought. And we'll find out how naive we are every day. 888-808-1019. Let's get to the calls. Eric in Queens. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Chris. Big fan. Fan.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
We have things in common. I live in Wandsworth.
Okay.
I coach my kids' Little League.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 10-year-old twin boys.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is GOAT USA.
Yep.
And the other thing is called Baseball 101.
Baseball 101?
That's the ice cream short.
Yes.
And recently my kids got to go to the Francisco Alvarez baseball clinic. It was in Massapequa. It was very cool. He came out and gave some time, and they gave away shirts with all that logo on it.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. I remember when I was in school, everyone had the Champion sweatshirts and the Pumas.
Right.
Jordan. So it's just fads. It's just amazing how
It's
the
just
fads,
bad?
fads.
Oh, fad. Oh, I got you. Yeah, it's just a fad. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they just continue and just kids don't even play sports. They wear all this stuff.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Baseball
Go
lifestyle.
USA.
And all of the accessories are now all of a sudden big. Like I went, my older son moved up from the whatever league he was in, fundamentals, whatever they call it, to minors. He's 8. So he's playing with 8 and 9-year-olds. The one of the games I went to, and with my Saturday show, I'm not coaching as much because the games are typically on Saturday. But one of the games I went to, the leadoff hitter for the other team steps up to the plate, and he's got an ice cream baseball. What is it called? Baseball Lifestyle 101. He's got like the mitt that they wear on the base paths, like the major leaguers, the sliding mitt, and he's got it in his back pocket as he's up at the plate. And I'm like, guys, like, come on. Like everything. You got the arm sleeves, everything. Like, but I'm like, when I saw the sliding mitt in the back pocket while he's coming up the bat, like the ice cream colored sliding mitt, I'm like, do you really mean that? Like, we all know there's probably not even going to be a throw at the base when you go to steal it. You're 9. Like, it's remarkable, man. It's
well, that's what it is. When I was a kid, I used to emulate my heroes, try to do their batting stance. So now the kids see the major leaguers with the arm sleeves, and they all got the jewelry. They got the necklaces and hats and all that stuff. But that's how it is. It's generational. But the problem is it costs a lot of money.
No, I mean, it does cost a lot of money. It does cost a lot of money. And they want it all. And it's not just baseball stuff. It's sweatshirts and shorts and pants and visors. But I'll give it out to the GOAT. It's a nice visor. The only thing, again, it's sliding off my head because I need a haircut. Mike in Flatbush. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, C-Mac? How you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
I wanted to say that, you put it well, like you have this huge contract. You would think that for what seems like a pittance, why would somebody risk it all? But then, and I'm reminded of Carton's show, somebody who knows addiction.
Yeah.
It's about the action. And that's the tragedy of it. And what you're saying is all true. I think multiple things can be true. Like, this is coming to light because these are businesses that want to protect their brand and the business itself. So they're going to find out, there's so many, ways of them figuring it out the way that bookies used to know and keep between them.
Right.
But what's also happening in a parallel is, and this was talked about earlier today, is the net has been cast. It's such a bigger net, and you're exposing so many more people.
Yes.
So younger people especially, there's just so many more lives, I think, that are negatively affected by online gambling.
Well, I do think that's a different argument, though. I understand what you're saying. It's just a different argument. Yeah, obviously with a commercial every 10 seconds and connection to the leagues, and you take your kids to a ballpark and there's signs for it everywhere, and in different countries. I don't think we've had it here yet. Maybe in other states, but there's literally kiosks that you can bet at the ballpark, and so it's changing that a little bit. But and then my question to you about the action, like, I get it. I get these guys are competition addicts as well as maybe having an issue with gambling. That's possible, but because we talk about it with. We remember watching the Michael Jordan documentary, right? Mm-hmm. He clearly, it wasn't so, I think he put it exactly like that. I don't have a gambling problem. I have a competition problem. He's like, I need that extra juice. I need something. I can't just play golf without wagering on it. I don't have a nice little Sunday golf session, pack a couple beers and enjoy myself. I need to beat somebody because that's who I am. And so I get that. But where's the action in I'm going to fake an injury, put money on all my unders? That doesn't seem like an action type thing. Like if we found out he was betting on games and on himself on the overs or stuff like that's action. But to say I'm going to fake an injury and come out of the game, bet my unders, that doesn't. And maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't sound like action to me. That sounds like a quick moneymaker.
Could have been desperate to make up the loss.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's a different thing. Like your argument was the reason they do this is because they're addicted to the action. And I could understand, Pete Rose's gambling, addiction to the action. I addiction to gambling, addiction to the action, absolutely. But what happened here seemed like, let's make a quick $200,000. I'm going to fake an injury and come out of the game, bet all my unders. That doesn't feel like action to me. That feels like someone who, you might be right, needed a quick, whatever, or has someone in his life watching over his bank accounts and doesn't want to use that money for something. I have no idea. I don't even want to begin to speculate on it. I'm just saying that doesn't seem to fit your answer, which is a legit one, and why I'm sure many of these guys that if we ever hear more of or certain circumstances, it's probably about that. It probably is. These guys are, need that action, need to constantly be feeling that competition or have it on the line. Absolutely. I just don't know if the Terry Rozier one fits that for me. But and as far as the legal gambling, again, I in this scenario, I don't see it impacting things. Overall, the idea that it opens kids up to gambling, it opens up more people to gambling, it opens up a possibility of more gambling addicts and more troubled lives. I can't argue that. But as far as what we're seeing inside the league, I don't know. Terry Rozier could have done this 15 years ago just as easily. Just as easily, if not easier. So I don't know if the legal gambling has a role in this particular conversation we're having. Rob in New London. What's up, Rob?
Hey, C-Mac. How's it going?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much. Hey, so here's the deal with this. I think it goes okay, Terry Rozier, that's just the first thing. How about this whole load management? I think that needs to be looked at as well. Yeah, we think that load management was used to rehab players. I don't believe that anymore. Now I believe that was part of the gambling ring. You can say, well, how do we know that? How do we not know that now? Because you have to believe that this gambling, because we're talking, it's money, okay? It's money, and I really believe that it's okay. I mean, that could be completely wrong, but
the load management. I mean, I guess that's what conspirator number 8 did. If you read, Evan was talking about it, and I saw a couple things online about it. Conspirator 8. Who, fits the mold of Chauncey Billups' career, although we don't know it's him, but was talking about in a game coming up, we're going to be sitting players, bet that game. But the Rozier thing, the the bets get nullified if the player never plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rozier had to be on the floor for a time. And, I mean, you would have to think that organizations are giving, like, leading information days ahead to gamblers to bet. Like, on Friday, we're sitting this guy. And, like, and every team does it. Every team does load management. Almost every team gives guys days off. Almost every team, will do this. That would be, if load management itself is directly associated with gambling, I would be surprised. I would be surprised that that's a significant. I think this is the scenario in this one instance, and we'll see how widespread it is throughout the league. Like, call me cynical, or the opposite of cynical. Call me naive. Like, I really don't think, are there players gambling on sports or doing things they shouldn't, or NFL players in casinos when they shouldn't be, or whatever? Like, almost certainly there are NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL players doing something they shouldn't be doing when it comes to gambling. Is it widespread of guys doing things like this? I don't know. I find it hard to believe still. I do. Call me naive. I find it very hard to believe that guys either shaving points or alerting gamblers to days they're going to take off, or faking injuries to go to that extreme, or, I'll miss half my foul shots, or whatever you could possibly, like, I find it hard to believe. Is there gambling inside the sport when it shouldn't be? I think that's clearly obvious because that's the human nature. But to this level of cheating and to the core of what sports is the game on the level, I still refuse. I still have a hard time believing this is some sort of widespread thing, and this is just they finally caught one, and another 10 are bound to happen. Like, I don't know. And I can tell you right now, I am going to be able to put it behind me and not watch the game with any sort of, thought in the back of my mind. Something happens, I'm not going to immediately go to, ooh, that's weird. And there are people who do that anyway before this ever happened. I know plenty of people who will look at every situation in sports and go, don't you think that's weird? Don't you think it's weird the Giants don't have a kicker? Don't you think it's weird? Like, no, I think they're incompetent. I don't think it's weird. And we'll see if Gano is going to play in this game on Sunday. Apparently had a good practice. They might have 2 kickers on the roster. If Gano kicks, they better have 2 kickers on the freaking roster. I'll tell you that right now. They better dress 2 kickers. I don't care who it is. But yeah, I have a tough time thinking that this is some sort of widespread thing that's happening all over the place. Clearly, this is a sweeping indictment that they have been going through for years. And I think the idea that it's involved, La Costa Nostra, like, that's part of the reason, like, this has become a main emphasis of the FBI. Even if they're going to show you, or even if the first news report has the face of the NBA and Rozier and Billups on it, ultimately the FBI is probably involved because of who's behind it. Who's the guys who's not there, as on the camera as they're leaving the jail. 888-808-1019. McMonigle here with you on the Fan. So we opened it up to the Giants. Obviously, this gambling story is a widespread, all of sports, connected to everything we do here. So I know you're going to want to talk about it. 888-808-1019. But it is a football Friday. We got to get to the Jets and who their quarterback is. And can they lose to both old man Rodgers and old man Flacco in the same season? Can he put together the same week they did last week? That defense is terrible. That defense on the Bengals is god-awful. Can this offense, that's really the question for the Jets. And we all assume that it's going to be Tyrod Taylor. Like, at first I thought they didn't announce it because they didn't want to make it seem like it was just immediate reaction to the owner. I guess it's just that this knee, which has been an issue all year, it's not like it's suddenly popped up as an issue. They want to go to Tyrod, and they're just not 100% sure he's going to be ready for the game on Sunday. But if it is Tyrod Taylor, and he can actually throw the football, even without Wilson, that defense on the Bengals is so bad. This has got to be the game the Jets score some points. Like, it has to be, right? 888-808-1019. McMonigle here with you on the Fan. Quick break. We'll come back. We'll do what we do here. We'll give you some picks for the weekend. We'll talk more about the Jets and Giants. We'll preview the World Series even, as it's a nightmare matchup for the Yankee fan. Dodgers and Blue Jays. And I guess we'll revisit, because I can't tell you how many Yankee fans I know hit me up about my thoughts on Bryce Harper. You don't want Bryce Harper? What are you, crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. What are you, crazy? 888-808-1019. McMonigle here with you on the Fan. Quick break. Back after the update.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 101.9 FM.
Feels like the same situation at the end of the Dallas game, where it's like, let's just throw these guys out there and just hope that somehow the worst thing doesn't happen, as opposed to continuing to attack.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Alex Shulman of Shulman & Hill, New York's premier injury law firm. We'll always fight for you if you're injured at a construction site. If you've ever wished you've had a lawyer in the family, now you will. At Shulman & Hill, it's never one and done. Once you're a client, you're always part of our family. New Yorkers in every borough and on every block know us by name. Shulman & Hill. Get your free consultation at hurtny.com. That's hurtny.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Injured? Don't be a whiner. Call me, attorney Mark Miner. I'm Mark Miner, and I have over 30 years of experience handling personal injury cases. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. You can trust that the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner will treat you with respect and fight for your rights. Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. Our goal is to transform your pain into payment. If there is no recovery, there is no fee. We handle all type of accident cases and value the opportunity to help you. The sooner you call, the better. If you are injured, call 1-800-LAW-LINE so we can discuss how to transform your pain into payment. Don't be a whiner. Call Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner at 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner, personal injury attorneys.
Don't whine. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That's 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Well, think again. Bring in your AT&T and T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and they'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save with phone deals, streaming, and plans where everybody in the family can choose their oin plan and save. So, bring your bill to your local Verizon store and they'll give you a better deal.
Rankings based on Root Metrics. Root Score report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Is it just me, or has watching television gotten way more complicated than it used to be? There are a million different services, lots of stuff you want to watch but can never find, and don't get me started on the bills. Well, thankfully there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love, MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it, plus everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They better access the HBO Max Basic with ads plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. The best part? There are no contracts, no surprise fees, and just one low price. And their DVR is awesome too. I can save everything I love on Philo for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. That's a total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's PHILO.tv, so I could lock in the best price around. Philo's the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one is trying to decide what to binge next.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 3 o'clock. I'm Justin Rock. This report is brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. The NBA in the news for all the wrong reasons on Thursday. Over 30 people arrested in connection with a federal gambling and betting investigation, including Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Heat guard Terry Rozier. Billups and former NBA player Damon Jones charged with participating in rigged poker games with ties to 4 of the major mafia families. Rozier, on the other hand, accused of providing non-public information and removing himself from games to benefit gamblers. Billups and Rozier both placed on indefinite leave by the NBA. The Blazers announced that assistant Tiago Splitter will take over as acting head coach. Knicks and Celtics meet later today at the Garden. Mitchell Robinson will be sidelined with an ankle injury. Karl Anthony Towns and Josh Hart questionable. NHL, the Rangers, several valiant comebacks, but fall in overtime to the Sharks 6-5. This despite the first career hat trick from Taylor Radish. Adam Fox on MSG postgame.
Shots from top of the crease, hash marks, guys just on the inside, and I don't care how good your goalie is, you're letting up one-timers from there. They're gonna score a lot of the times NHL. So, like I said, I think we just got what we deserved from it.
Islanders captured their 4th straight win, a 7-2 drubbing of the Red Wings. NFL, the Jets winless and banged up. Sauce Gardner did not practice with a concussion. Tyrod Taylor, Breece Hall were limited. For the Giants, Darius Slayton limited with a hamstring issue. Kicker Graham Gano designated to return from IR. It's 45 degrees and clear in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Justin Rock.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
McMonigle here with you on the Fan. 1 hour down, 2 more to go as we take you to 5 o'clock in the warm-up show. 888-808-1019. Let's get to the Jets here, as obviously head to Cincinnati against a team that is coming off a couple extra days. Last Thursday, they had their big win over Pittsburgh, that great game from Joe Flacco. And, this is a game for me. A couple different things. One, with everything swirling around the quarterback position. And, the thing about not naming a quarterback, too, which is frustrating, because I honestly believe, right? I honestly believe, as crazy as I am, I said I'm naive when it came to the gambling. Maybe I'm naive when it comes to the Jets. I honestly believe that this team is talented enough. And now, I don't know exactly what's going on in practice, but just 2 days ago, Fields, no one knows who the quarterback is. They never said anything to us. The idea that if Tyrod Taylor knew he was the quarterback all week and he was taking first team reps and he knew it and they were game planning for him, and I'm sure they are game planning, this should be a game where if Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback after everything that happened all week with the owner dogging Justin Fields, the disaster that it's been, 0-7. Forget what I think about tanking and whether they're better off losing the game or not. Clearly, they're desperate for a victory. They're desperate for a victory. If they had all week to get Tyrod Taylor ready to play a game as the starter and game plan for him, this defense is awful for Cincinnati. It is god-awful. And as good as they were against Pittsburgh offensively, and as much as Joe Flacco was able to make quick decisions, get the ball to his stud wide receiver, who he threw it to him, I think it was 75 times. He targeted Chase. So, like, we know that they have good wide receivers. Their top two are as good as any in the sport. Like, offensively, they can be dangerous. But is Joe Flacco going to do that back-to-back weeks? This offensive line, we talked about it with Joe Burrow, and that's why he's hurt yet again. Like, this offensive line isn't very good. I do believe this Jets team that's played better defensively, specifically the last couple weeks, can go make life tough for this Bengals team. Offensively. Now, I'm not saying we know what that passing attack can do, even with a Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco is, he's not going to put back-to-back games like that together. I'm sorry. That was a magical night last Thursday night. If they can figure out a way to get their offense going in the slightest and figure out how to get a passing game in the slightest with Tyrod Taylor, there's no reason they can't go win this football game. There's no reason they can't go win a football game. And I think this coach and this offensive coordinator and this team, off of everything that happened this week, if they finally make the quarterback switch, which we all expect them to make, this is the game they have to get up, right? This is the game they have to show up. They have to get up for because they can go win this game. There's not a ton of winnable games on the schedule for them. Like we talked about. That's why last week I thought it was so important. Because they were playing a lousy football team. They go play the Bengals next week, home against the Browns, and that Browns defense is tough. It's much better in Cleveland than it is on the road. But that's a winnable game. But then you look at how the Patriots have played. The Ravens are going to have Lamar back this week. The Falcons have a really good running attack and can be dangerous. The Dolphins are falling apart, but the Jaguars are better. The Saints on the road. Patriots, Bills. Where are the wins coming from? This is a game that they have got to find a way. And as long as Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback and they can actually throw the football down the field and can actually compete a pass, much to the owner's chagrin that they haven't been able to, this is the game to go get. And incorporate the running back. Right? Before you trade him, go out and give him another. And that's what they should be doing too. Go, make sure you don't get him hurt. But let's see if we can show off the running back and get him moved because they should move him. But if this game ends up being the same slop, if they can't put up points against this Bengals team with Tyrod Taylor, again, it's just more. I mean, really, what's the goal of the game? Right? The goal of the game is to win it. And then secondary, outside of that, it's to not feel like this entire staff is inept at the end of it. Can this coach get through a game without doing something that makes us question whether or not he's suited to be a head coach in the NFL, let alone be the head coach of the New York Jets? Something needs to happen in this game. And I think Tyrod Taylor can throw the football. And even without Wilson, this defense is that bad. And I do think this offensive line can give Tyrod enough time to operate. And I do think they have a run game. Believe it or not, as naive as I am, I don't think they're incapable of beating anyone no matter the circumstances. I think this is a winnable game for the Jets. I do. And if they can just establish the run and figure out how to throw the ball down the field with Tyrod Taylor, it's not hard. It's not hard. Establish the run. This offensive line was doing it in the first couple weeks of the season. Go out there, make sure you run the football, and then get to a point where you could throw the football down the field and take chances. I know he threw two turnovers in the second half last week. I don't care. I need the ball thrown down the field. Go attack this lousy Bengals team. If this offense can't operate it this week against the Bengals, there's no point. There's no point. And again, I know I talk a lot about coaches, and we've talked a lot about Glenn. And the decision that's going to be coming up at the draft. If they can't knowing, and I'm sure they've known all week long, that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starting quarterback. If they can't come up with a game plan to have a functioning offense against this Bengals team, coming off now, that was a huge win for them. That was a game the quarterback in Joe Flacco was asked if he ever thought he'd have another game like that in his career. That's where he is. The question was, hey, did you ever expect to have another game like that in your career? And he's like, no, I never did. I thought that, creeps into your mind that you're not going to have games like that. He is a relic. He is the ghost of Christmas past who found one great week. That was their game. I don't think it's going to translate into any other game this year. For whatever reason, the Steelers had a miserable game plan against them, played terrible defense. It was an up and down the field, back and forth type game that I don't think the Jets are capable of playing, and I don't think this defense will allow it. I know Sauce hasn't been practicing. I don't care. Get some pressure on Joe Flacco. He can't move. And then offensively, if they cannot come up with a game plan to attack this lousy Cincinnati Bengals defense, then it just continues to further the point of how can you move forward? It's 2025. It's about offense. It's about quarterback play. You brought in a quarterback who can't throw the ball for $30 million, for $30 million, couldn't scheme up a game plan to make his skill sets work. You have a backup, the most competent backup arguably in the NFL. We've seen what Baltimore is dealing with Rush. We've seen some of these backup quarterbacks and how they play outside of the one game of Joe Flacco. This is as competent a backup quarterback that exists in the NFL. Go show me that you can operate and design and game plan an offense against one of the worst defenses in the sport, coming off arguably their Super Bowl. To beat Aaron Rodgers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the division-leading Pittsburgh Steelers, to do that night, that was their game. And now they just await Joe Burrow. Jets have got to show me something offensively in this game. They just have to. 888-808-1019. Anthony in Hicksville. What's up, Anthony?
Chris,
yes.
I feel like you're selling Flacco really short. He had 200-300-yard games last year. He had 2 games for 275. Flacco was pretty good with the Colts last year. And then
at the end of the season, he had a couple of games, but again,
No, I mean, you're making it like he can't. And Tyrod's not the most competent quarterback backup either. There's multiple backups that are better than Tyrod Taylor.
Competent?
But anyway.
I mean, a competent quarterback who's...
Mac Jones?
Yeah, Mac Jones. Who had a better career, Mac Jones or Tyrod Taylor?
Mac Jones is 26.
I don't care how old he is. Tyrod Taylor started, but won a lot of games.
Mac Jones, Tyrod Taylor is better than Mac Jones?
I think he absolutely can be. Yes, no question in my mind. Yes.
All right, here's the second. I didn't really want to talk about that. Let me ask you a question. Where's all this Jets talent that you're talking about? They have nobody on offense except Breece Hall.
Yeah, no, I know.
So what are you talking about?
We see it all the time. We see it all the time.
Win this week.
We see it all the time.
No, we don't.
Little Jordan Humphreys is the quarterback for the New York. Is a wide receiver for the Giants. Bo Collins,
the Jets. We're talking about the Jets.
Do they have an offensive line that can run the football? Do they have an offensive line who can run the football?
A little bit, yeah.
No, not a little bit. They can run the football. Can they pass block?
You said they have all this talent.
When did I say this? When did I say they're talented?
You just said it. Are you delusional?
I said they're full of talent?
You said
I said they're talented enough to beat the lousy Bengals. Yes. Because people like you think they're void of talent. Yes, they are. We see it all the time. We see
what all the time? Where?
Who's more talented, the Bengals or the Pittsburgh Steelers?
The Bengals.
Then the Pittsburgh Steelers?
What?
Then the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No,
they won the football game. They won the football game. Well, they won the football game. We see teams win football games all the time.
The Jets are the worst team in the league. What are you talking
on their record?
about?
They are. Yes, their record. They
no,
are.
No, there's no talent on this offense. All you've been talking about is this offense has got to be competent. Why? They have one player that's good.
Look at the Giants' offense and tell me how much more talented it is. They lost Neighbors. They're throwing to who exactly? They have Scatterbo or Breece Hall.
What do you mean? Yeah, they're better. The Giants are better than the Jets.
Explain where?
Yeah, so what's your point?
Where?
Okay, the Giants are just. Let's say
is the offensive line better at the Giants or the Jets?
It's similar.
No, okay.
Similar.
Because they're 0-7, you'll say that
but
now.
They have a
Going into the
quarterback.
season.
You
they have a quarterback.
Listen,
Tyrod Taylor can function in offense.
And they have.
Mac Jones won games. Mac Jones won because they've shown it, because they've been coached better, because the quarterback hasn't been disaster.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah, and Jackson Dart's better than
a lot better. Yeah, well, that's a lot better. That makes you 10 times better. If I ask you what team has a really good quarterback or a really young and up and coming quarterback that's already good versus Tyrod Taylor, obviously you're going to pick the team with.
No, I
understand
that. I understand that. But what about the other teams in the league win games with lousy quarterbacks? Stop it. And lousy talent. The Saints have won games.
Yeah,
like teams have won games.
Right,
the Tennessee Titans won a game.
They stole a game versus the Cardinals.
Why can't they steal this game? You think they're going to lose all 17?
The Titans have a better. Listen, the Titans are better than the Jets by far.
Oh my God!
Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, Cam Ward. They actually have players. The Jets have nobody. They're horrible.
I know. Listen, they're not good.
Hearing how talented they are.
I didn't say they're talented. I said they're talented enough to win a football game. They're talented enough to win a football game.
Honestly,
they have an offensive line. Hold on. You don't shut up. They have an offensive line. They have a running back. They have a quarterback who's won games in the NFL. They have a quarterback who can throw the football against one of the worst defenses in the sport. They can put up some points. It's allowed. Don't act like they're so inept offensively that they can't do anything. Look at the first game of the year when they had the quarterback actually play well. And yes, they had Wilson then. I get it. But, you are capable of doing something. The idea that they're so talentless that they're destined, it doesn't they're guaranteed to go 0-17 this year. Go win a football game. I didn't say go on a run and make the playoffs. I didn't say win by 35 points. I didn't say go dominate this Bengals team. I said muster up enough offense to beat one of the worst defenses in the sport. What should the idea that they can't win no matter what they do because they're so poorly talented, they can win. They can absolutely win.
Listen, oh boy.
Yeah.
The idea that they're so talentless.
Yeah, you're listening to the radio. Listen through the phone.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Now it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Oh, now I got it. Sorry. No, I just think you have First off, you're asking for it on the wrong week. I mean, the Bengals are playing something. They have extra days rest to game plan for this team. I don't know what the history is against these two teams, but the Bengals, I think you're asking a lot for them to be. They could beat the Dolphins. There's one team, maybe two. The Saints, I heard you say. That's it. Chris,
I don't think the Bengals are that good, and I'm not saying they're going to win the game. What should I say?
No, you're not.
What should I say? Go out there and get your ass kicked?
You're asking them on the wrong week. No, I think you should be saying, I expect another loss from this dreadful, disgusting team. That's what you should be talking.
I kind of am. I'm saying if they can't. I'm saying if they can't do it this week and muster up some offense with Tyrod Taylor, who can actually. I was told by a bunch of different people, Anthony, a bunch of different people, and maybe not you because you hate them so much. It was 13-11 against the Broncos. It was 13-11.
They showed up.
Why can't the defense show up and keep it close on Sunday?
I don't know. Listen, by the way, Denver was coming off some terrible travel.
They beat the Eagles.
Well, listen, that's the truth.
They beat the Eagles the week before.
I know. Yeah, but their travel. Just go look at their travel. Whatever.
I know their travel. But now the Bengals are in a great spot. The Bengals are so good, better than the Denver Broncos. It was 13-11. You were 7 yards short of kicking a game-winning field goal, and your quarterback threw for -10. I'm challenging the Jets. I'm saying let's do it this week. Let me see some offense. You got embarrassed by your owner. Everyone's calling you terrible. You have an offensive line that can block. You have a running back who is talented. You have a quarterback now who can actually throw the football. You've got a lousy Bengals team. All I said was, if you can't do it this week, when the hell are you going to do it? I'm not pounding the table saying the Jets are going to win the football game. I'm not telling you they're better than the Bengals. I'm saying this is a week where a football team, believe it or not, as talentless or talented as the New York Jets, can actually go play well. It's been known to happen before. It was 13-11 against the Broncos, a playoff team. A team that scored 33 points in one quarter against the Giants, and you held them to 13 points. Go hold old man Flacco to 15 to 20 points and figure out a way to score 3 touchdowns. I'm not asking a lot. And you're so sick of talking about how talented the Jets are. When exactly have we been extolling the virtues of how talented the Jets are? I'm saying go win a game. Go figure. If you can't do it now, I don't know if I'll ever think you can do it. That's what I've said. That's all I've said. This is a game that they should be able to go play as well as they're possible of playing. Let's see. Now you've really got me rooting for the Jets this week. I'm not telling you they're the friggin' Chiefs. They don't have the roster of the Lions. I know they're not overly talented. You don't have to be to win football games. You don't have to be overly talented to win a football game against a lousy opponent. And that's what the Bengals are. Without Joe Flacco, even last year with Joe Flacco, they're a lousy team. Lousy. They have a lousy offensive line. Go get pressure on Joe Flacco. Get a couple of turnovers. Win a football game. They're 0-7. They're the only winless team in the sport. Are they the only team without talent? I mean, I don't know what you want. I don't know how bad we are. Like, I've killed the Jets. Killed them. And rightfully so. I'm saying go win one football game. There's no reason they shouldn't be competitive. And in all honesty, I think they're better off losing the football game. You know how I feel about things. They're better off losing the football game. But yeah, and I didn't say Tyrod Taylor is the best backup quarterback in the league or the most talented. He's the most competent. He's the guy who I feel can lead an offense, throw the ball down the field. He's a veteran guy. He's seen everything. Nothing is going to surprise him. The Bengals aren't going to do anything. No other defense is going to do anything he's not seen before. Like, Mac Jones. Now, if I was starting a team for the next 10 years, would I rather have Mac Jones? I suppose just based on age. But like, if I needed to go win one football game, you'd feel that much better about Mac Jones than you feel about Tyrod Taylor? I don't know. Tyrod Taylor's won games. Tyrod Taylor's been around. Tyrod Taylor can still move for his age. The problem is he can't stay healthy. That's the problem. He almost beat the Bills with the New York Giants 2 years ago. Like, sorry. They're talented enough to compete in this football game. They are. Every team in the NFL is. Show me. Go out there and show me. Show your fan base. Show your owner. Mike in Florida. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Good, thank you. I don't see the Jets firing Aaron Glenn at the end of the season, but if they totally collapse with the defense not being good, if they give up on the coach, how would you feel about a guy like Cliff Kingsbury becoming the coach next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think Cliff Kingsbury would be an option. He's coached before in the NFL. It didn't go all that well with the Cardinals, but he's an offensive mind. He's done well with quarterbacks. He drafted, Murray, and Murray's had his, ups and downs, and he's not one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's got ability, and he's a starting quarterback in this league, and he's won a bunch of games. Look what he's done with Daniels here, not here, but Daniels in Washington. Like, yeah, I think that is an absolute. I would feel better about that hire than I would about Aaron Glenn. If you told me Cliff Kingsbury was the head coach going into the draft next year, I would feel better about that than I would about if Aaron Glenn is still the coach heading into the draft next year. I would. Is it my number one choice? Can I be convinced of other guys being better than Cliff Kingsbury? Yes. But Cliff Kingsbury, for me, going into this offseason, knowing you're drafting a quarterback and have to work with him and have to develop him, absolutely. Cliff Kingsbury, I would rather him be the head coach than Aaron Glenn. Absolutely. 888-808-1019. McMonigle here with you on the Fan. Quick break. Back with more after this.
The Giants and Eagles get ready to face each other for the second time in 3 weeks. This time in Philly.
They bring pressure up the middle. Darts back, fires it over the middle, and it's caught off a deflection.
Will Big Blue